We're ready for the aliens, Taylor. Like I hope that that's finally revealed. I want that sci-fi story where like you ever wonder why the U.S. military is so powerful? You think they're preparing for Russia, China? No, it's the Martians.
I don't know how many times we can have this discussion. Any race of beings that shows up here is going to laugh at anything we have.
How long did the Indians fucking resist? You know, we you know what I mean? Like get out of here.
Indians okay. Let's use the comparison of the Spaniards landing and the conquistadors.
See,
Spain conquered multiple empires in South America with like 190 guys because of a tech gap.
That's not true. What they did is they recruited huge swaths of the local outsider villages who had been preyed upon generationally for human sacrifice, and they brought them under their umbrella as trackers, guides, and
those guys hadn't figured it out on their own. They were still getting bullied by the Aztecs or the Mayans or whatever, and then some 180 conquistadors. They do. You really think they could show up here through hyperspace, and then they're going to be impressed by our little plane?
First of all, there's a number of different scenarios in which like mean aliens come here and decide they've got to like do war on us. I would like a scenario where they've got like a generational ship. They're not on their way here. They're on their way to a star system on the other side of us, right? We're along the way, but they didn't bring enough fucking fuel. And their fuel is like, I don't know, our lithium supply or something like that. And they're like,
the least efficient fuel.
Well, that's why we're at war. They
need something that Earth has a lot of, but they can't just get from asteroids. I don't know what that is.
We need Harley to jump in and correct your nonsense here.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Oh, man, I've been.
You don't have your stealth field on yet, buddy.
I've been whacking off high on ketamine this whole time. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's something you and Woody can both talk about.
You know, I was actually thinking about what you were saying just now. The aliens coming and how they would laugh at us. I think we would be surprised at some of the qualities that they would not find funny in the least bit. Like I'm a firm believer that they would come to this planet and a significant percentage of us would be like, we're going to fuck you. We're
like
going to
fuck you up.
We're going to fuck you.
We're going to rape you.
We're going to try and fuck you. We want to fuck you. I don't think these aliens go to other planets and there's a whole like thousands of people that are like, I would love to fuck one. They would do one mission here and then go back to their mothership to be like, yeah, so let's touch base on what's going on. Let's even get a reading on what they're doing. They go to Twitter. It's all fan art of us sucking their fingers or whatever it is that looks like dicks. They're like, yo, this is crazy. The other half of us, significant portion, are like, we're going to kill ourselves killing you. It is our religious duty to. I think Warhammer's accurate. I didn't play much Warhammer, but I got caught up in the lore
big time.
And that the suffering in that lore and just how humans are just so religious. Like I believe we take that shit. We could take that the distance.
So that Warhammer has some of the best quotes where like a human is like rubbing elbows with an alien and the alien's like, we're here to do blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, all I want is the universe can't rest until you're extinguished. Negotiate. We're here to exterminate.
Yeah.
There's no, they look at them as heresy. It's heresy.
They hate aliens.
The aliens very existence is heretical, is what you got to understand. Like it's not that we got a problem with you, alien man. It's that your existence is an insult to us and our God. You have to be eradicated. And once you're gone, we're going to kill the guys that fought you. So nobody even knows that you existed. You know what I mean? It's that level.
I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world in space.
Yeah,
they're going to invade and wreck up the Imperium, right?
But I think we're bad fucking ass. Look, we've never met any aliens. We don't know what they'd be like. We're just guessing. But what I know about humanity is we're hard fucking core. Is that we've done nothing but do battle and war since we existed, from stones and sticks and rocks and slings. Every time we butted up against another culture or a group of people that had something that we wanted, we killed them for it. And we didn't just, it wasn't this artsy fucking rules of the battlefield type shit. It was usually gruesome and horrific. We blow ourselves up to do the enemy in. We torture them mercilessly and let our children watch.
I think they'd come to this planet and it'd be like they would see that we've harnessed nuclear energy and that we just have so many bombs. And that we don't even have an enemy out there. It's just us here. And we have so many bombs. It'd be kind of like if someone was like, yo, in that door, behind that door, there's a baby. You think you could kick its ass? And you're like, yeah, for sure. And then you open the door and the baby has a lot of bullets and maybe like a slingshot though, like not a gun, but it has a slingshot. But you're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, obviously I can kick the baby's ass, but that's crazy. Look at all these bullets. He did that himself.
So the other thing is, like, you've got to consider, like, why are they attacking, right? They either want to live here and kick us out, maybe.
They want to harvest our planet's core. How about that? That's fun. There's something in there we haven't figured out yet, and they want to suck it up.
There's life in there. They just
let's imagine that they don't want to just ruin this planet, that they want it so that they can like move in and everything. So they're gonna have to come in and land, right? Like they're gonna have to go toe to toe with us because we'll just launch nukes and ruin the whole planet if we need to. You know that's what we would do. Like if we were losing the war to the aliens badly, like
I've seen Independence Day.
Yeah,
like Independence Day, like we wouldn't launch one and be like, oh shucks, we'd launch thousands. The United States has something like 3,500 ICBM warheads. Russia has like 5,000. China's got, I don't know if it's in the thousands yet, but it's hundreds and hundreds. Israel, y'all got a few. Israel would hold theirs back. You know they would. They'd be like, all right, everyone, fire! And you'd see like 10,872 would launch. Like, where's the other?
You'll be happy we kept these.
28. We needed exactly 10,900.
You'll be happy. Now you'll be the only nuclear power.
I don't see why it matters.
You think you should be good to
us? Was that today?
I mean, we're launching 10,000 rockets when we can do it for 8,000. It's a bad deal.
Israel holds their nukes back, becomes the only nuclear power, and sides with the aliens.
They
got like the aliens.
They got us again.
They got Jews with them lifting the floorboards to find other humans under there.
Our turn now.
It feels like
I don't think we do well. The way I see it is like even the Independence Day one. It's like if I were trying to invade, or if someone's trying to invade my home. And I'm like, do your worst. And they open it up and I've rigged my entire house with high-powered explosives. And I'm like, test me. I'll do it. I'll kill myself. And you'll have to do something. So you'll have to sit there in space and watch me blow myself up. And they're going to be like, all right, there's this whole planet full of retards. Like, let's just kill them all. And take
but that's a strategy. Like, it might not work, but it is actually. Because I think like whatever they're here for, our core, if we're blowing it up, that's a problem. Like if we're blowing up the core, like they don't want that. So if they're so advanced, they're like, dude, we'll come back in a couple of
There's no reason to want that.
Whatever it is, they'll be like, dude, they're about to destroy the whole thing. Let's just come back in 5,000 years when they've killed each other. Let's try again later. There's a million other planets we can go to.
No, I think that if aliens came here, it might be like the district. Is it District 13? District 9. District 9, where they're like, they don't even know how to fly their own shit. They're like a slave race or whatever, and they end up being our like ghetto people.
I mean, that's best possible scenario because those were the most inept, dumbest aliens ever.
Alien Nation was the same exact story. It was basically an alien slave ship crashes to Earth, and all of the like it takes them forever to cut a hole in it. Like we don't know how to get into
them right away, dude. We started fucking them right away when they came.
We totally did in Alien Nation. Really? And the thing about
I would have been all over that for sure.
They're pretty hot. Like they're okay. Look, they got these big pink heads, but everything else
space AIDS or something. You don't want that.
They figured out right away. Like you're all good. Their erogenous zone is on their backs though. Their erogenous zone's on their backs though. So like the woman would not let you rub her back on the first date unless she's really loose. But she might let you.
And the ones with the tits, and the ones with the tits are the ones with the dicks.
That's not true.
Well, that happens here
sometimes. Pretty sick.
Yeah, that's a horrible system. Cool. I wouldn't like aliens like that.
Yeah, but you don't know. You're one of the first guys. And she was so hot, and then it's a dick, and you're like, dude, that's crazy. On this planet, it's so different.
It's so wild.
It's not this at all. Like that's what are we even doing?
What if it's a pseudo vagina or a pseudo penis, like a hyena has? Like their pussy is like a long, like drapey elephant trunk down there.
I don't.
You gotta like you fuck it, and you come in it, Kyle.
You gotta like bunch that thing up and get in there.
Are you saying you would like that?
We'd like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We'd like that.
Yeah.
They land and they're like, they have their translators. They're like, "Hi, it's nice to see you." We're like, "Take these cum pills. You're gonna get fucked."
You're into the show.
Yeah, let's get out of this.
These hold on. I like the idea of the aliens coming. The aliens come here and and Kyle gets like a phone call from our current president, Donald Trump. And he's like, you're allowed to use the guns.
Allowed to use the guns.
It's off.
Save a yarmulke for me, Mr. President. I'm on the
way. Swing away, Kyle. Swing away.
Send me in. Oh, I would love to do battle with the aliens. See, that's all. Aliens are kind of like zombies.
You'd like to fuck them. I know it. Sorry, I don't want to be back at fucking aliens, but I know.
But not in like a sexy kind of way. Like in a like the way that Josh Brolin was like raped that cartel guy in the beginning of Sicario. Like that kind, like where it's gay.
Like you can't even search this genre up without getting.
But you didn't think that was a little sexy?
I mean, no, that guy was crying a lot. It was pretty rough. No, I think we take the aliens on because I think we're hard fucking core. I think if you met the other galactic races, there'd be some pussies out there. There'd be some races of like creatures that never fought amongst themselves, that found some sort of harmony on their planet. Maybe there's just so much food on their planet. Or maybe they discovered a technology early on that made it so you didn't have to war over energy or something like that. They have a sort of an egalitarian, not like a space communist economy that's post scarcity, and they just don't fight, and they haven't fought for so long that they're all just pussies. Like they don't even have good guns.
I think I think it's because being local is a huge advantage. Yeah, imagine if you want to bring in more guns and ships, and you have to bring them from like 8 light years away. That's a problem.
Yeah, for sure. I think that too. I think that it would be like a galactic Vietnam for anybody who came here, because we're awful. We're awful.
I think so too.
There were like 4 other savage. There were like 4 other human races that were intelligent arts, things that painted and made tools and lived amongst us, and they're all gone now. Like the Neanderthals, the Hobbit people, all those things are dead. And we
There's no elves, no ice giants.
We murdered them to death. 100%.
I actually think that we would have some strategies that they wouldn't expect. I think they would know, like, I might be able to beat up, like, once again, bringing it back to a baby with bullets. I think I'd be able to beat up like a 12-year-old who has a knife, but it's gonna be you're gonna take some damage. You take some damage. I think we'd really I think even if it's just a cut, even just a cut, and you know what? There's infinite 11-year-olds out there. Some that don't have a knife. Let's just go get one of those instead of this one that's gonna cut me. Maybe like we'll be like, well, fuck.
I like the idea. I like the idea that we're more like deceptive than they would be, that they might not understand lying, like the Tricelerons from Three Body Problem.
That too.
Those are, by the way, I don't know if you got the part where you find out what those guys look like, but they're like little roach people. They're like 3 inches tall or something. You know what I mean? So, and I know it doesn't matter because it's their technology that's the problem, but it's like, fuck, if we could just get them. If we just get up over there on their planet and just start stomping.
I thought there was never a real physical part in the book that really.
I didn't read the books, but I watched the YouTube explains like compilation that just goes through and gives you all the spoilers and nitty gritty. Like then this happened.
And they said that because I missed that. Yeah. I looked that up.
I even saw some artwork of
them. They never said what they looked like.
It reminded me of, like, you know, in Men in Black, that little fella that was inside the guy's head operating the gizmos. It reminded me of like a little thing like that, but more insect-like, like a beetle like shell on the back, if I remember correctly. Something stupid like that.
Yeah, I think like if they came here and they, you know, if we could just get like a human up there with tactical nuke.
Oh yeah, Will Smith type character.
We got like 1 billion humans just down to die for the cause.
Dude, would you fly one in? Would you wrap yourself in the Israeli flag and then ride a thermonuclear weapon, like right up the tailpipe?
I did the Canadian one. It's way funnier. It's like the Canadian flag. Like, who is that?
You just say, sorry, as you explode into a big vapor cloud.
Yeah.
That's nothing. They got shields we didn't know about.
There was a trend where it was like, hey, what would win? This versus this, you know, horse versus the ducks. You've seen it. It was the sun versus 1 trillion lions. And Taylor sometimes is like, people don't get how big 1 trillion is. So with that in mind, I was like, what would happen? if we took 1 trillion lions in a ball and put it at the sun, if I took a handful of like mud and threw it at a small fire, I'd put the fire out. Is 1 trillion lions a lot of lions? It seems like a lot of lions, but the sun is a formidable competitor. Right?
Yes.
So how does it compare against 1 trillion lions?
That's 1 trillion lions.
Taylor, where's your answer on this? 1 trillion lions thrown at the sun. What happens?
Definitely the lions. The sun can't bite.
My guess is nothing happens. My guess would be nothing at all.
Well, 1 trillion dead, suffocated lions show up and burn to death. Maybe.
Yeah, you just launch them at the sun.
If there's, well, it depends. Are we doing one at a time?
No, in a big ball.
No, a ball. The ball of 1 trillion lions.
Yeah, a ball of 1 trillion lions. I'm taking the lions. Yeah.
You're wrong. You're wrong. A ball of 1 trillion lions is so insignificant to the sun that it doesn't even like splash or make a solar flare. So then the guy took it to the next level and they said, hey, that's an English trillion. Apparently a bunch of languages use like it changes. And in France, like I guess 1 million isn't 1,000 more than 100,000, or better, it's 1 billion's not 1,000 more than 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
1 billion is 1 million millions. And then in their language, 1 trillion is 1 trillion trillions. So they took that ball, French ball of lions, which is 1 trillion trillions, and threw it at the sun. Fucking nothing. Nothing. The sun barely notices 1 trillion trillion lions. It is, I think, slightly smaller than the moon. And as it approaches the sun, it starts to like break up, and it eventually just becomes a little more but insignificant amount of sun fuel. So then they calculated how many lions it would take. And then that ruins it because it starts getting into scientific notation. I barely understand.
10 to the power of 70, and you're like, that I couldn't fathom 1 trillion, and now we've gone into algebra or something. Is that algebra?
Yes, exactly. It was like 10 to the 30 something number of lions. You can imagine a 1 followed by 30 zeros, whatever number that is.
I like those YouTube channels.
Have an impact.
I watched the one that video got recommended to me. That one was a little silly for me.
You've seen it recently. Okay.
I didn't watch it, but like because I was just like, look,
you had a better grip on what so I have a lot of respect.
I had a lot of respect for the sun. I think I'm big on the sun here.
I didn't know.
I'm a big sun guy.
Yeah.
How many grains of sand are on Ocean City's 10-mile long beach? Right.
I wouldn't know what that number looks like. I have no concept.
If you told me there were 1 billion grains of sand, I'd be like, okay. If you told me there
sounds
were
way too low.
1 trillion is a lot of. I don't know.
That'd be a huge amount. I
need to know how many grains of sand are in a handful of sand. I don't know how many. I don't know how much
the sand is.
Is this 100 grains? Is it 10,000? Is it 100,000? I don't know.
I
need to sit there and like count out 10 grains of sand and be like, well, that's fucking 10. I can rub that between my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Then that must be.
I saw one where they were like, what would happen if a needle hit the earth at the speed of light? And I was just like,
it couldn't be good.
I think something happens. I think it's like a bomb going off, like a nuclear weapon.
Energy, but it's just a needle. Like
it turned out that it's like 10 Hiroshima bombs. If a needle hits the earth.
So Earth would be fine, but it would be a noteworthy explosion.
Yeah, you destroy a fucking city. Yeah, with a needle going the speed of light. I think it was the final judgment. Right. And then they got into, and they're like, in our last video, we told you what would happen if a needle hit the earth at the speed of light. Well, some of you corrected us and made sure we knew that nothing can achieve the speed of light. So for you sticklers out there, we're going to find out what happens if a needle hits the earth at 9.9999999999999% the speed of light. And I'm like, did you just double up on ad revenue? They made the same video again.
Basically, if he did, that's smart.
They're like, all right, smart asses. We'll see who's smart. I'm gonna be collecting the check at the end of the month. Watch this. Yeah, I like those videos. I watch a bunch of that shit, like all sorts of like silly math. Like, what would happen if you? And some of them are real head scratchers for me because of the numbers involved. It's like, what would happen if you detonated a nuclear weapon at the bottom of the Marianas Trench? Turns out nothing. But I didn't know. Like maybe I didn't know what would happen.
I don't believe him. Something would happen.
So, as a child, there was actually like national, international anxiety about the Cold War. Like it just kind of existed and hung over everything that you did, or hanged over everything you did. I don't know. And we had this idea that nuclear bombs were worse than they really are. Nuclear bombs take out square miles, if I understand it right. And then the fallout, ruins territory, beyond that. And one nuclear bomb could maybe take out New York City. But as a child, we were like, if they launch all of them, does the Earth split? Will it crack like an egg, and will there be two floating hemispheres rotating around the sun? No, they're not that powerful. They're just really good bombs.
If they launched them all, then we would all die, though, because we would go into a nuclear winter.
That'd be an atmosphere thing, not like
that'd be an atmosphere thing. Well, not only would you have vast seas of radioactive wasteland that nothing could exist in, and the water would be poisoned in vast areas, and the entire chain of production that. I mean, forget nuclear weapons. If you just turned off the oil for a few years, a massive percentage of humans would just die because there's no food being moved around. But now you're talking about a significant percentage of us are just dead because every major city is already pre-targeted by these things, and there's 10,000 of them, I think, at this point. Where there used to be way more in the Cold War. I think the U.S. has 4,500, and the Russians have 5,000, and the Chinese have some piddling amount, 50.
This is an area where I don't trust the accuracy of our reporting at all.
Mm. You're like, they blow those nukes out of proportion.
High or low? I don't know. I just don't believe they have any incentive to tell the truth. They could have way more than they say, or way less than they say.
Yeah, I suppose so. I think we're more likely to be honest than the Russians are, and I think the Russians would have a hard time keeping that shit funded. I think they turned a lot of them into power plants. They pulled the warheads apart. But yeah, I think if all of them got launched, especially during the Cold War, that's kind of it for us. I mean, we don't go extinct, but our version of what reality is greatly. We turn into Fallout. It's like Fallout, the video game. I think that's what happens.
The last 3 presidents have talked about making more nukes, and it makes me think. Did we and just not put any advertising and marketing around the creation of new nukes?
We signed quite a bit of treaties. You would hope that everybody is abiding by them.
Right, because we wouldn't want to go to nuke jail.
If the Russians were to find out, and it doesn't seem like we're great at keeping secrets, that we had an extra 1,000 we lied about, then that gives them carte blanche to make another 1,000, and then. You don't want an arms race. We need to get rid of those things. We need a small amount of those.
Court found Ronald Reagan guilty of violating something. And I remember the political cartoons where they're like, please don't show the presidential buttocks in court. Just mooning the judge fuck you. Yeah. You have no teeth.
No power here.
Yeah.
No, but I do think we need to keep a lot of them around because the aliens ever come. We're gonna need those. We're gonna need those. Not. I don't think we could do anything to the aliens with them, but we could be like, look, we'll ruin this place. You think you're taking this? You don't you know what humans are all about? The aliens would be like, Jesus, we're literally heartless insectoids, but they're willing to ruin their whole planet just so that we can't have it.
Those aliens have a lot of self-awareness.
Well, of course they do. They flew here from another
heartless insectoids.
They would be blown away by how vindictive we would be, because that's what we would do. If it came down to either we are going to be accept insectoid overlords, or we can just ruin this fucking place so that they'll have to leave, and maybe we'll crawl from the ashes eventually. We would choose option B.
But we were all excited to talk about the final frontier, space. Elon Musk. Building
favorite African American, yes,
the best. Everyone's talking about it. That's how Trump would say. But it's pretty fucking cool. Have you guys seen the footage?
I think I heard about it. Did they land a booster? Is that the deal?
Yeah, it's enormous. It showed how big it was compared to the previous ones that they've kind of had success with. You remember, I think it was 2019 was the first booster that SpaceX sent up, and they're hopefully it can land itself, and it was this little module looking thing, and it was it succeeded, but it wasn't blowing anyone's mind. This thing's 20, 30 times bigger. It's like a building. It's huge.
It's really big. I think the idea is
250 tons.
Because once again, they're able to reuse the thing over and over and save costs. I think the idea is eventually to have fuel stored in orbit and take one of those things up and then add a new fuel tank to it and then have it be able to accelerate all the way to Mars and then have some sort of plant there making methane fuels for the ride back.
Yeah. I want us to get back to exploring more shit. Like,
it's getting
where do you want to go?
It's getting
we went to all the close stuff.
Yeah.
It's like we checked out our house. Now we need to go outside. This is hard.
Jupiter has 4 moons with these ice shells with warm oceans underneath them. I want to know what's in those oceans so bad. If there's some sort of like the way we have that deep sea life here on the vents, those that's living off of like sulfur and evil at hundreds of degrees. Like one of them, I can't remember which. It's like Ares, Ganymede, Ceres, and Titan maybe. One of them has like geysers that shoot out because there's like activity down there. It gets flexed by the gravity of Jupiter, like the shell does, depending on which side it is, and that presumably warms the ocean through friction.
What are the geysers shooting out?
They don't know. Oh, really? They were all right. So they do that light spectrum analysis
or something.
No, it was water.
Oh, neat.
Well, it's ice. Wow. You can see that it's ice. There's some residue on the cracks on one of them that shows up as like red, and they said that so does the kind of like bacteria that grows on those vents here, but that doesn't mean anything. It could just be some red shit.
There's no way to know.
I'm convinced there's life on a lot of planets, and it comes from this. Like, so obviously there's life on Earth in our crust, right? But then deeper in the dirt, there's life there too. Well, sure, that still gets like exposed to the sun and all the good, sort of juices that flow. But as you get deeper and deeper, they found life in Earth's like core and magna, right? Like this is so where we didn't think life could live, we've now discovered it. Something under the crust, deeper than we ever thought, not in the dirt layer, but in the dead layer. They've discovered things that are alive, and it has caused scientists to reevaluate what they think the conditions for life are. They're broader than we used to think they are. So if you're telling me that there's no life on this Jupiter planet or moon, then I'm skeptical. I think something's alive there. Not intelligent, but there'll be something living, whether it be bacteria or whatever.
I want there to be like fish. I want there to be fish. I want there to be like little things that could look
I want a real animal that I can see with my eyes.
Dude, that would be so cool. If you sent an American up there to go and like drill a fucking hole and then catch a fish, he'd be the greatest fisherman in the universe.
Be such a flex if I had one.
Oh, can you imagine? like he brings it back, but
Neptunian.
He immediately guts it and gets he gets it like on a plaque, like a bass.
They train a fisherman to be the first
to go to Titan. Like they did with the oil drillers in Armageddon.
It's way easier to train an ice fisherman to be an astronaut than it is to train.
I told him the whole time I'm more of a hobbyist, but they wouldn't take no.
I'm super into that idea that there's likely to be life in one of those weird, awful, dark environments. And, I don't think it's fish people, but there's no reason it couldn't be fish people. That moon's been there as long as we've been here, Could be fish people.
I guess so.
Yeah. So they caught the booster, which I guess what it used to happen is the booster would drop into the water, it'd sink to the bottom of the ocean. There'd be this like booster rescue effort. Then they'd have to really check it carefully to make sure it's ready to go the next time. Now that they can land it, there's a tremendous amount of money savings to be had. I wonder why they had to land the booster in like whatever, a big set of chopsticks.
This is the bigger booster.
So they landed the other things. It's just harder because it's bigger.
I think it's probably just too heavy.
I think it's gigantic. I don't know the answer to your question, but I presumed that this was just so much bigger that they needed the chopsticks. I didn't know about the whole chopstick landing capture thing until I saw the video, and it doesn't look real. That thing kind of comes in ass first, like gliding down, like something out of it's very sci-fi, and oftentimes the footage it looks surreal to see something that big move so unnaturally and then land. It's super cool.
Yeah, there's so much power. I saw a clip of Elon Musk saying the booster weighs like 250 tons. And he was saying like, oh, but we think we can get it to below 200 tons. And it's like, it's still pretty fucking enormous. Like, what are we moving? Hopefully, like this is this could be one of those things that like triggers another big increase in our ability to explore space, just like quick turnaround and everything.
You know what I was thinking? I think it secures our safety from asteroids. I think that if we've got enough lead time, there's a bunch. They're watching most of the sky now. It's not like in the 90s. They used to always say, this is a postage stamp of sky that we scan every year. The rest is open. And it's like, oh my God, that's so scary. But now it's like, they scan the whole fucking sky looking for stuff. Yeah. As long as they had like a few years lead time, you would think Elon could fly up a bunch of heavy stuff, like a bunch of depleted uranium weight plates, and then stack them all together and then stick them on the head of one of those rockets and just hit the asteroid and push it away. NASA has this thing called DART that they already tested, and they redirected an asteroid with it. Basically, they just crashed the fucking thing into a moving asteroid, which is harder than you might think because the asteroid's moving at some ungodly speed. And then your probe that they hit it with also, it's like hitting a bullet with a bullet and doing the math weeks in advance. So they hit the thing and they thought they were going to move it some minuscule amount, but they moved it like 60 times more. It was 60 times more effective than they thought it was going to be, something to that magnitude. So they have a lot of confidence that crashing things into asteroids will move them significantly enough to, with enough lead time to save us from getting dinosaured.
I would hope so. Is that still the prevailing theory on dinosaurs, meteor?
They think that it was a double whammy of volcanism initially, and then the asteroid was the last thing I watched. And I also watched a thing recently. There's some paleontologists, they've discovered these fossils in, I think, Colorado that are like 1 million years too late. So they think there was actually, you remember the cartoon, the Land Before Time?
Yeah.
There was like that one valley where like the dinosaurs kept living for a while. They literally think they found that, where dinosaurs might have gone on living for like 500,000 to 1 million years longer than anywhere else on the planet ever discovered. I thought that was cool. Super fun. Yeah. Especially based on, I liked that cartoon as a kid.
Land Before Time was great. Littlefoot and the gang against all odds, man. You watch that show and it's like, this is going to be the time the T-Rex gets them. Nope. They got away again.
I felt bad for the T-Rex after a while. It's like, what's he going to eat? He's hungry.
I hate plot armor.
You hate plot armor.
He killed his mother right away. They bandied.
You gotta kill some main characters. Game of Thrones was okay. Walking Dead is the best character killer of any show I've ever seen.
A&E's the best character killer. That's why they had to kill those characters off. Everybody quit.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were gonna be like, there's this show and that show and like. Yeah.
No. But I do believe there's life up there under one of those ice shelf moons. And
is that where you would pick? Like if you're in charge?
That's what I would fund. Yeah. That's where the money goes.
If Elon's like, Kyle, we've only got enough money to explore one celestial body.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go? You're like fucking Titan.
Yeah. Europa, I think is the one. I think that's the one. But I don't know. I've watched little mini docs about.
I think that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson also says. I think he agrees with you.
I think maybe that's the one that had the visible geysers that they were able to spectrum analysis and see that had like maybe some friendly chemicals for life or something. Or
maybe start by sending some unmanned stuff there. Like it seems
so
like
the ice is really thick. I think I think I remember the ice being like 1 kilometer thick. So we're going to need a really cool
go in the
drill.
Summer. What are you, stupid?
In the summer. Go during the daytime.
Can they bring perhaps a very long drill?
Bring a fire.
Just set a fire and wait.
What the temperature of the sun would be during nighttime or something like that. Like something
not enough. You know what I want? I don't know who Elon Musk's friends are, but I want one of his inner circle friends to get him like addicted to exploring the bottom of the sea the way he's addicted to space.
No,
I would like if he came up with a company that was like, the Delving Company or whatever the fuck, like just something, and he just became obsessed and started mapping the deepest areas, finding new animals. I would love that. I would be more interested in that.
He does have a company. He has a company called the Boring Company that bores tunnels, right?
Ditch that. Get to the ocean.
What would you name the ocean one?
Wetworks. Wetworks, yeah, that could be good.
Sequest. Sequest 2025.
Ooh, that's good too.
You just completely rip off that Roy Schneider TV show from the 90s.
Well, Wet Works was not an original concept.
Nobody watched Sequest. Don't worry. You can rip the whole thing off. They had a dolphin that could communicate and stuff.
I've seen it.
Yeah, they had it was basically like a super advanced submarine. Roy Schneider was the captain, and they like patrolled the oceans doing all sorts of good, stopping all
all that ocean crime. Underwater crime.
They had a niche.
Shark. Do you guys like
very powerful submarine?
Is your guys' curiosity about the bottom of the ocean even close to your space curiosity?
Yes. All right. Yes. So there's so much space that I know for sure. There's some shit out there. I think even in our little galaxy, there's got to be some shit out there. There's some people. I think there are some people, or there were some people, one or the other, like us, like that sat around and thought about us, that we'd be an alien civilization to them. I believe that fully, but I don't know if we're ever going to be able to figure that out. Like certainly not within our lifetimes or anything like that. But down in the ocean, there's a few weird anomalies, right? So that Challenger Deep is so fucking deep. It's deeper than the Mount Everest is tall. It's crazy, crazy deep. It's completely unexplored, really, what's down there. And you could have some smart shit living down there. You could have some sort of weird intelligent species of people living down there. Maybe that's what the UFOs are. Maybe it's the fish people coming up, and like the air up here is like their version of outer space. They can't even imagine outer space. That's like a level above. That's like a fifth dimensional being to them. They can't imagine outer space.
I'm having a hard time letting go of space as being exciting. Hey, Ed. Good to see you.
What's going on?
We're just talking about space and the sea.
And every time we do sea exploration and find some new fish, I struggle to give a fuck. It is not interesting. Look, here's an ugly brown or gray fish who doesn't go very far from this warm spot, doing nothing his entire existence. I'm like, let's go to space. I've seen enough. The ocean is basically a wet desert and of nothing to see.
Lucky for you, Woody, no one is funding ocean exploration. No one is funding that.
It should be funded. It should be funded.
When's the last time you saw an aquanaut? You know what I mean?
I've never seen an astronaut either.
Dude, I can make a million theories about something that will never happen within the window of human existence.
Yeah, make one.
Yeah, actually, the black holes are gaining energy, Mr. Hawking, and it's called Taylor radiation.
When is it you've hit the peak of your bell curve? Or maybe maybe you even do want to enjoy the downslide a little bit, but not all of it. Not the tail end.
It depends, I think everybody's got a different bell curve. Some people peak, toward the end. I would argue that like William Shatner's like 90, or how old is he? Like 99 or something stupid. Like he went to space last year.
I'll find out.
That's got to be pretty cool. Well, that's because that billionaire sprayed alcohol on him, and all he could ponder was his dead wife who was killed by a drunk driver, and the infiniteness of space and how alone we are.
I think it was the infinite abyss of space, where he's like, oh my God, I'm so close to the end. Like going to space at 99, bad
92.
move. 92.
Well, he's 92 now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he say about space? That it was depressing? That it was just boring?
Something about there's
boring. It's empty. There's nothing out here. There's nothing for us. It's just this world. That's it. Like that was kind of his takeaway.
It feels like he's right, doesn't it?
He's right. Of course he's right.
All the other planets suck. They're really just dog. If our solar system was a neighborhood, we're in the one nice house. The rest of it's trash.
The idea that we should take Mars and like colonize it as a backup planet in case we ruin this one. There's no universe in which Mars is a better starting point than Earth for humans.
Yeah,
for fixing things. Like I do like the idea, however, of like being somewhere else, even if it is shitty. It's a storm shelter of a planet. Like maybe the Earth gets hit and like fucked up for a generation or two, but there's enough people underground living in some shit city on Mars that the Earth they're looking at satellite readings. The Earth seems to have stabilized. The oceans have receded. Let's fly back or something. Like maybe that. But Venus seems better for that. Whenever I hear them talk about Venus, they say
is terrible.
No. So up in the if you're on the ground, it's like 900 degrees. It melts lead down there. But up high in the atmosphere, there's a layer in the atmosphere that you could kind of open the window and you wouldn't die instantly. There's like a level of atmosphere.
I'm sold.
You're really selling
this is his example of the best we've got.
There's a whole
if you're 30,000 feet up, you can briefly open a window and not immediately asphyxiate.
Hear me out. Well, I mean, Mars is worse.
I mean, you'll want to flush out all the sulfur and like I don't know.
No, you get out of the sulfur layer.
No, but Woody, you don't understand. Once we've excavated Mars and Venus in a way that far outpaces even what we've done on our own planet for our entire existence, it'll be smooth sailing, nice.
There's no terraforming. There's
what are we gonna do? Live in tents?
You would live in airships on Venus, is what the plan would be.
Well, then why not just live on a ship that's floating around the Earth?
Because you want to go to another planet and explore it, Taylor. Like you're the guy who stays home when Christopher Columbus takes off. Why don't you just stay here?
No, because the existence of islands and shit, they knew they would find something neat.
What kind of fucking Italian are you?
Not one.
I wouldn't want to go to Venus or fucking Mars. Like maybe if it was like For All Mankind, that seems like a pretty decent Mars to go check out. They've got like porn and pussy and alcohol and rovers and shit. Like it seems like a good time. You're living in it seems better than being an American nuclear submariner. To me, like you've got
glamping,
quarters,
basically. They're basically living as rough as somebody with a tow behind RV would live.
Mm-hmm.
With high stakes, shitty living. You can't just pull over at a Buc-ee's, like you die.
Well, I mean, sure,
yes,
wrong, but all right, I get your point. But
what do you think, Chris? Are there any good planets, or do we need to take care of this one we're on, right?
Some would say. Honestly, just keep moving inward. Just like Ben Shapiro said, you just sell your house if you live down on the coast and everything will be fine.
Yes.
You just move up to Iowa.
To who? A fishery? Like who's gonna buy my house that's gonna be under 8 meters of water?
I know, right? Like, honestly, that's why I like living in the Midwest, because I feel like I'm safe for now. Until the atmosphere catches on fire or whatever is going to happen when we are living on other planets. But that's what my plan is, to just stay put for now.
I think that's smart. And since we're Midwest boys, like we've got like a century lead time, I would imagine. Yeah. Like if New York starts going underwater, we got forever. That's their problem.
Dude, they were by you
until we're like Shatner age at least.
I don't know what the elevation is. I know I saw this graph of sea level, and we get fucked up by the Mississippi way faster than you would think. Like I guess that big river getting out of control creates a lot of basins, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to suddenly be in some weird archipelago water world.
Taylor, you're at 466 feet. Like I'm at 290. Like just because you're inland a lot doesn't mean you're right.
I don't know. I see that map. There's a lot of land, and that's how it works. No, you're right. Like when I started doing that graph, I'm like, we're safe, and it's like,
I'm 1,000 feet.
You're higher than
Northern Illinois at.
I'm higher than either of you. It's 1,000 feet here in Atlanta.
And you're in Illinois. Okay, so Chris, you're going to get fucked up by the Mississippi too, or the Great Lakes. I don't know how that would work.
Apparently, Stephen Hawking's dick got hard and worked.
That dog.
That
investigative journalism
monster. Yes, that monster. He was using his crippled penis on all those poor victims.
Yeah, I guess he probably needed a guy to help him get laid.
I mean, he just.
Really? You think he's got the Riz? He types into his fucking ColecoVision. Yeah, baby, you look stunning.
Dude, every woman wants to fuck a light bright, and that's exactly what he is.
Poor guy.
You just make him festive. Yeah.
If we get a great mind like Stephen Hawking, isn't it worth it?
Was he even smart? What was he up to? What was he really figuring out? I bet there were real scientists. I bet he was a Steve Jobs. I bet there were real scientists behind the scenes.
Radiation escaped from black holes and
Hawking radiation. They named it after the man.
Yeah, because it means that black holes will eventually shrink and just like dissipate instead of just collecting.
They're losing energy. Yeah,
they're losing energy and giving it back out, and they'll eventually go away.
Dude, I can make a million theories about something that will never happen within the window of human existence.
Yeah, make one.
Yeah, actually, the black holes are gaining energy, Mr. Hawking, and it's called Taylor radiation. You dumb dead retard. You fucking legless dumbass. Oh, and you can't test it because it's a billion jillion miles away, and it's dark matter.
You think you're so smart? Well, let's arm wrestle. See who's right.
You think you're so smart? I'll beat the shit out of you. I would have held him in the
rip
surf.
Your shirt off.
I would have held his limp body in the surf at St. James Island and bullied him. And I would have been like, hey, where are the real scientists, you fucking Steve Jobs piece of shit? You didn't come up with anything.
Poor Mr.
Is that right,
Hawking.
Stephen Hawking? The good news is you're here at St. James Island. You're about to get fucked. The bad news is it's Taylor.
What if he was part of the offering there? Right? It was like some rich sheik, and they're like, we have all these underage kids for you, and at your request, a crippled man from Manchester born in the 30s.
You think she's soft? Where do you meet Stephen Hawking?
Wait till you meet Stephen Hawking.
No muscle mass at all.
Dude, he's the veal of partners. he's got no muscle mass, soft as
47-year-old veal.
Yeah, covered in bed sores on his bony ass. You fuck Stephen Hawking. That guy sucks.
Hot take.
He's dead.
I'm glad.
All right, yeah. You're right. That guy sucked.
He did suck. You're not making any points, Kyle.
I like Stephen Hawking. He was in an episode of Star Trek. It was pretty fun. Really? He always had a sense of humor. Yeah, there's like Data goes into the holodeck and he's like, give me I want to talk to Einstein, Stephen Hawking, and I don't know, Socrates or somebody, Da Vinci, whatever. And they just bring Stephen Hawking in instead of getting an actor.
Was it Next Gen?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. That's like saying I like Johnny Depp. He was in Walking Dead.
I think they play poker. They play poker. That's what it is. He's playing poker with Einstein, and Hawking has this little robo hand holding his cards up for him or whatever, and he's cracking jokes, of course, because apparently
Johnny Depp was in Walking Dead. He played a decapitated head for just a few seconds.
Oh, that's neat. I had one of my girlfriend's friends was in. It was actually in the episode where Merle dies, if you remember back then.
Well, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but sure, I remember that.
Yeah, it was during the governor
he died heroically in
an
outpost of some sort. Yeah.
He I think the governor was about to kill all of our main characters, and maybe Merle shows up and was like, no, you won't, or whatever, and died trying. But she's in that scene because she's some girls have big eyes. She had some big eyes. She's just got these peepers. And when they put those contacts in there, there's like a muddy brownish yellow. And she goes, ah. It was like, fuck, you're a really good zombie. This is great. I think
that's cool.
They were hanging out at Norman Reedus's bar, because Daryl has a bar down there where they filmed the stuff. And I think that they met the casting director or somebody like that. And he was like, your eyes, madam. And ended up getting on the show. It was cool.
I used to work with a woman who had really big eyes, just extraordinarily large. You could practically see the backside of them. And she told me that when she was a baby, they were all talking about how adorable she was because she had these big eyes. And I didn't say anything, but in my heart, I was like, they're not attractive at all. Why even bringing attention to those eyeballs? It's weird.
Were they like you're a head injury away from that thing popping out like a fucking dog? You ever see those little dogs? Its heads are head to eyeball ratio was off. It's like
bug-eyed. Was she bug-eyed?
Yeah, she was bug-eyed and just it was like her eyebrow. Is this part of your body called like a crown or something?
Brow.
It was too high. Brow. Okay. And her, help me again, upper cheeks were too low. It was just this huge pocket for her bug eyes that were too far forward. And it's just a lot.
There's this, I don't know what you call it, syndrome, disease, whatever, that causes your eyes to bulge. Not get bigger, I don't think, but maybe. But they bulge. To Barbara's, there's an actress. She's that curly headed, is it Barbara Streisand?
Very old.
There's an actress who has it. She's in that movie with the baseball movie where they're fucking the old catcher and everything. Anyway, I think it's Barbara Streisand. But I had a makeup artist who had the same thing, and he was explaining to me that, yep, no cure. They just keep getting bigger and bigger and bulging more and more. And his eyes were coming at you already. I was like, man,
that sucks.
Gonna pop. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
Always looks like someone locked you in the depressurizing chamber in space. You're about to. There was a lunch lady who was bug-eyed at my middle school, and it kind of spooked me. I do remember that.
Yeah. They always get space depressurization wrong. I'm pretty sure we exist at like 1 psi or something.
No.
And then, go ahead. Do you know this better than me? I feel like if I opened the door to a spacecraft, no one would get sucked out.
We will not get sucked out. It will absolutely do exactly what. Oh, now I don't know about a door. That's going to be a whoosh, but like the same way in an airliner. But if there's like a pinhole, then you just stick your thumb over it. Like in Alien Resurrection, there's a part where they kill the alien by making a hole in the like glass window with some acid, and it like sucks the alien, spaghettifies it through that hole until it's disemboweled and sucked. Nothing like that. You stick your thumb right over it, like it's like a piece of gum, whatever. Because we're at like, I think 1 atmosphere is, I'm gonna get this wrong, 12 or 13 psi or something like that. It's a really fun experiment. You can take an aluminum can, put a little bit of liquid in it, grab it with some tongs, put it over your burner, get it boiling in there so it's creating steam that's traveling up through it, and then upend it very quickly into like a basin of water, just so that the top is submerged, and you've created a vacuum inside of there because that steam was present, but now that it's cooled down, the steam's gone and a vacuum is inside there. So just the atmospheric pressure that we exist in here, that's pressing on us all the time that we don't notice, crushes the fuck out.
I believe you, but I would not qualify that as a very fun experiment.
You can do it to a 55-gallon drum though, and the whole drum goes.
That's pretty neat.
They tried that on Mythbusters, and it didn't. Like, they had to like do a lot of extra work to get it to the tanker to crumple. It was I think it was a I don't know if it was like a Breaking Bad one that they did, but they were trying to like get a tanker to collapse on itself to like wherever the submarine, like the implode. And they had to do a lot of extra work. They had to get like a really weak tanker because they just kept trying to like with steam pressurize this tanker to the point where it would just crumple on itself. And they had to do a whole bunch of extra stuff to get it to do it. But
you can do it with barrels. You can do it with cans. I think it is.
You know what? I have a neat experiment. Taylor might not call it very fun, but hear me out on this. You have a campfire and you have a bottle of water, right? This is a plastic bottle like you get at every gas station. If you put this bottle of water in the campfire, it won't melt. It doesn't burn. You would think it would. The water will boil, and the part that doesn't have water in it will go away. So it'll become like a cup. But as the water evaporates, the bottle drains. But the water only gets to 212 degrees. That's it. So it keeps the plastic cool enough that it doesn't like melt and spill out the bottom.
Nothing can propagate faster than the speed of light, though. Like not even gravity. Like if you were to magically make the sun disappear, we would continue to rotate for whatever 6 minutes or whatever. However, I think it takes 6 or 8 minutes, something like that, for the light to get from the sun to the earth. That's also how long it would take for the pull of gravity to release us.
What? I don't understand that at all. If it disappeared, why would there be remnant gravity for a no longer existing mass? I don't understand.
But it does. Nothing can move faster or propagate faster than the speed of light. No information cannot be transferred faster than the speed of light.
But I mean, if we're like spinning around the sun and the sun gets deleted in an instant, it seems like we would just soar immediately into the chasm of space because there's no mass left to attract us.
No, it could literally disappear like magically, and we would continue to rotate around it in the same path and be drawn by it in the same way until the speed of light propagated, like whatever that is, 6 minutes or 8 minutes, or something like that. Let me see how fast light.
So we don't know the speed of gravity or how.
The speed of gravity is the speed of light. Exactly. It's 8 1/3 minutes. Yeah.
I always pictured gravity more as like it's tethering us to it, and so once that's severed, you would just like if you're spinning a ball on a string and you cut it, it would immediately just zoom, like go the direction of whatever it was currently perpendicular to.
Nope.
Yeah.
I believe you, but that doesn't make sense logically.
If the string was 100 light seconds long, then maybe it would take 100 light seconds for it to.
For the sake of simplicity, Woody, the string is 4 fathoms long. What a fucking cunt that guy is. For the sake of simplicity, fuck you. What a smarmy douche. I am not a fan of that guy. For the sake of simplicity. That's like a troll comment. What was that you read? Was that just like some guy online on like Science Today or something?
I was on physics.stackexchange.com.
Okay. Physics is in the name. I don't know what stack exchange is, but I guess I trust the physics part.
Seemed like a bunch of smart people talking about hypotheticals. I don't know. I've never been to that site before. Just trying to understand Woody's question, because there's a lot of moving parts in Woody's question. There's a lot of stuff to consider. It's always been a fun thinker.
Yeah. I like that you watch all those videos, because it occasionally brings up an interesting point about physics I don't get.
That's so
fascinating. And I just lean on your knowledge of whatever YouTube video you most recently watched.
Yeah.
I think damn. Well, I'm not interested enough in this to look into it, so I'm just going to trust exactly what Kyle just said.
Yeah, I find that stuff so fascinating. I love the learning about how large the universe is, and when they start talking about the Fermi paradox and working from one theory to the other, and it's like, all right, well, if life began on Earth almost as soon as it could. As soon as the Earth cooled off, life began. Essentially, they know that it was actually not cool. It was not cool enough that they think life should have began, and it still did. So the idea is all right, well, then life could have began billions of years in other star systems before our Earth was even here. So theoretically, the most advanced civilizations in the universe are billions of years more evolved than us, not millions or tens of millions of hundreds of millions. They could be 2 billion years ahead of us on the tech scale. And by that regard, if they ever made those von Neumann machines, those self-replicating probes that would sort of colonize the galaxy and maybe go to every star system and just wait to see if somebody in that star system ever radios in, or maybe they just keep an eye on planets that might make life. They should already be out there. There should be some sort of probe in our solar system right now, waiting on, I don't know, us to go get it, like in Arthur C. Clarke's The Sentinel, which is what 2001 Space Odyssey is based on. That's what that's about. Is that's what those obelisks are? Those black rectangular things.
I don't think a hyper advanced space race would be benevolent enough to be we're going to put a little Easter egg near them, and then they're going to find it, and we're going to give them gifts and include them in the club. I think it would be a ruthless conquering that we would be subject to.
Maybe, but what do they need? The question would, when they're that advanced, what do they need that we have? Because it'd be way easier to mine every material you can imagine from asteroids that don't have that huge gravity well. It's getting our rocket ships into space. I think they have to go 17,000 miles per hour just to get out of our atmosphere. It costs $10,000 a pound or 10,000 a kilo to get stuff out of our atmosphere. But asteroids, they barely have any gravity, and they're made of everything. They're made of nickel and iron and gold and platinum.
They're zooting around really quick. Mm-mm. But I guess if you're
so is the Earth.
Billion year. Yeah.
They're not going.
But if they miss us, they'll be all right, we'll just wait.
Yeah, they can, I mean, we with our technology pull right up on asteroids and land and take samples and bring them back to Earth.
I guess that's true. Yeah, they could catch asteroids like a baseball if we can even kind of do that shit at a lower kind of primitive level.
We landed a spacecraft on an asteroid, took dirt samples. It landed, grabbed, and then popped right back off and took off again and came back to Earth and dropped off those samples for us. And then they brought them to the CDC here in Atlanta and opened the capsule up to see what was in there, what those little bits and bobs were.
What I hope is that the U.S. stays the most advanced in all the space stuff, and that we keep hoodwinking countries like the Netherlands with petrified wood. If they wanted real space stuff, then they can get on it. They can get on their horse. But until then, we're bamboozling your goofy asses, your wooden shoe wearing asses with petrified wood.
It's hard to say how that happened. That could have been some sort of a heist where a middleman in between did the switcheroo.
I like to think we just fucked with them.
Could have been, but we had we had hundreds of pounds of moon rocks we brought back. It seemed
we're not donating that. They could be useful. we probably found out that it's not useful and these are just shitty rocks. There's a bunch of nothing in here. It's even worse than an Earth rock.
Yeah, the moon is covered with that stuff that they think would be good for fusion energy if they ever figure out how to do that. Is it helium-3 or something like that?
We'll never know, because Elon's all obsessed with Mars. No interest in the moon.
The moon will have to be like a pit stop to Mars. You could build up all your stuff there.
He's even obsessed with. He's full of shit, Elon Musk, right? He just lies as much as he breathes. So when he's like, we're going to Mars, is he even serious about going to Mars?
Here's why I think he is. I remember serious. there was an interview with Elon when he was first kicking off SpaceX. I think they interviewed Buzz Aldrin, one of the original Apollo astronauts, and they shit on Musk. They were like, a private organization will never be able to match the support of a nation. This has to be done by nations, the way I did it in the 60s. And Elon Musk, he's a flash in the pan. He won't have the stick-to-itiveness. And Elon, they played that clip to Elon in a Dateline interview, and he cried. He's like, Buzz Aldrin's like a hero of mine. So to hear that, this is really bothering you, isn't it? I've never heard him speak that way about, what we do here. What we do here is so close to my. I feel like he's into the SpaceX thing. I really do. I think he legitimately wants to put people on Mars for whatever reason. I do believe that he wants it.
Seems like his biggest obsession, the space stuff.
He's got 5,000 of those satellites up now. 5,000.
Yeah. The Starlink. Yeah. That's pretty nice. It would be sick if that was like really, really good internet everywhere.
It is.
But I don't know a single person who has it personally, and so I haven't been able to check.
I know a couple people.
What do they say?
They're really happy. Yeah, most people that I know have it are either van lifers or like I have another pair of friends that are married with kids, and they live on top of a mountain. Like it's rocky. It'd be really challenging to run like coax cable for cable internet,
fiber, whatever.
Yeah, and they finally got the Starlink that they've been waiting for, and it's fast. It's good. Now, if they were gamers, they might be more critical, of the latency and such, or drop packets. But for regular people, it's amazing. You can watch your Netflix all you want.
Huh. That's cool then. I don't even know if it's available where I am, and I'm sure it's not as fast as the internet I currently have, but. Who knows?
Pretty fast.
Yeah, it's very.
Because they're just now putting like fiber around everywhere here.
Okay.
I don't know if it's as fast as that. If it is, and it's more cost effective.
It's 200 to 300 and occasionally 500 megabit.
Yeah, but the ping is like 120 if you're in the States.
Is that okay?
That sucks.
That's what this Reddit user says. He's like, I'm in Michigan. My ping's 100 to 120. So online gaming. It causes issues, but if you're just everything else, Netflix, all the other uses you might have for a broadband connection, it's the thing.
The ping is because it's so far away.
Yeah, it just takes a while. Well, one, there's more hops. Every time you go from like router to router and read, like sort of look at what that packet is, figure out where it's going, and send it in the right direction, that slows it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of like just going to space and back, like that adds time also. So what Elon did, which is better than what existed before Elon, is he has lower satellites. So if you could imagine a point looking at a sphere, if that point is close to the Earth, it doesn't see to the edges of the sphere. If you put it far enough away, you can damn near see the equator. So Elon has low satellites, but it takes 5,000 of them. Whereas maybe it's Hughes has much higher satellites, but it takes fewer of them. But the downside of that is the latency is even worse because it travels to fucking Mars and back. I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
Whereas Elon has more satellites lower for better service and maybe cheaper deployment. But I made that part up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what he's done is incredible. Like that Starlink thing is going to have so many uses going forward. Like it's the war in Ukraine is on the back of Starlink. Like the way that they communicate and navigate and coordinate is Starlink required. I think a lot of their because of all the jamming and stuff with the drones, some of the drones have like they get you the drone flies by itself with Starlink 95% of the way to the target, and then an operator takes over at the end. Like that thing is so cool. I've heard them talk about the pollution of the, our atmosphere, having all that space junk up there. China's the worst at that, though. I want to say they blew up a satellite like 5 or 6 years ago, and then they were like, it created 18 million pieces of like wreckage, and it was the worst moment of atmospheric pollution of all time. The Chinese suck.
Yeah, I'm way out of my depth here, but my suspicion is that people who complain about Musk's space junk like to complain about Musk. I like to complain about Musk, but I try to be accurate and right, and like I'm not fussing about his space junk.
Some of them
I fuss about his self-driving cars still not meeting expectations 15 years later.
Some of them are astronomers. You know, they do those sky audits or whatever they call them. They're looking for they take one shot and then they compare it to a shot 10 minutes later to look for objects that have moved or are moving. And if there's all that junk up there, it can fuck with that visual kind of science.
Right? We would have a Mars base if not for how much we've given to Israel over the past 65 years.
I want a Venus base.
I agree. Venus is much better than Mars.
Base.
Floating cloud cities? Hell yeah.
Cloud cities, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Venus seems scary.
You have to live in a floating cloud.
Not being such a sissy. Go to Venus.
You're right.
Go to Venus. Soviets went to Venus.
That's all it took. Yeah, don't be a
Two things about Venus that make it better is that its gravity is 92% of Earth's, whereas Mars is like 38. Yep. And the other thing is, since it has a thick atmosphere, it will shield you from solar radiation, whereas even Mars really doesn't, and you just cook. Problem is, the surface is uninhabitable, but if you build a floating cloud city and you put it at the right elevation so that it blocks radiation and isn't overly bright and whatever, it's nearly Earth-like.
Wait, so if
we go to Mars, everyone will have your bone density.
Yes,
true.
That's actually about right. To be honest, I have,
And
hold on. So if you build this cloud city, it would be like an enormous, like what we have here, a space station, just an enormous space station.
No, you'd have like airships in the atmosphere. You'd be able to go outside and like. The temperature is livable. Like there's an altitude where you could just go outside. You don't need a spaceship. You'd be in an air.
Really?
You in the sky though.
You would have like bladders of gas that would
like hot air balloon kind of things.
Or so you wouldn't be gas or something. It's probably not hydrogen. That's explosive.
What would it look like if not like an enormous space station like what we have now?
You'd be like down in the planet's atmosphere. It's a very thick atmosphere. Down on the surface, it melt. It's I don't remember what the pressure is, but I know it's hot enough to melt lead. The Soviets sent like multiple. The Soviets sent multiple spacecraft and landers rather, that take pictures on the surface of Venus. See if you can find those photos from the pictures.
Don't they last like 4 minutes or something? Or the initial?
The first one lasted like a second, and then they were like, "We can do better." And then they made they were making like Stanley style pressure.
Turns out it's pretty flat.
He's been watching Astrum.
Oh yeah, I love Astrum. I've seen all those episodes. They kept sending better and better landers.
How many people could live in one of those kind of bases you're talking about?
Depends on how big you want to make them.
It depends how big you make it.
How big do we have the capacity? I guess we don't
zero.
Have the capacity.
We have zero ability to make it. The moon like circle trip orbit trip has been pushed to like April again. They had issues about. They had a hydrogen leak. They had to deal with that.
No sooner than 2025.
They put the whole fucking thing back. We got the whole fucking thing back in the garage
for Israel. We don't need to colonize other planets just so long as Israel likes us blowing up other countries. I
just want a goddamn moon base. Exactly. A moon base is not too much to ask. I need Elon Musk to keep sending those cylinders up there, and we hook them all together, make a little pad down there. We live on the moon.
You said a moon base was gay.
I did not. I said Mars base was like impossible.
What's closer, Mars or Venus to us? I'm not. This isn't the gotcha. I really don't know.
Well, it is because I don't know. I don't know the fucking answer.
I think Venus is closer. Mars is going to be further out. Y'all can put that into Google. I think Mars is like quadruple the distance, if not more.
Obviously, it varies.
It has a slower orbit as well, so the times line up more poorly. Whereas Venus is a lot faster, so there's a lot more orbital launch windows.
Oh, that makes sense. It's closer orbit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Venus can get as close as about 38 to 41 million kilometers. Mars, 55 to 56 million kilometers. So it's both a tremendous difference, but that is
these aren't short trips. You can't drive a truck to Venus.
Damn.
We don't know what would happen to a person if you send them to Mars. No one's been in interstellar space for that long. Not interstellar, but interplanetary space for that long. On the Apollo missions, they were behind the moon for like hours and days and stuff like that. I think it's like a week-long trip. But going to Mars seemingly is going to be a 6-month to 9-month trip each way, although they're not coming back.
Dude, we'd have moon bases if we hadn't shackled ourselves to these.
I'm trying to steer us away from. Don't say it.
These expensive.
You already can't get a loan. Just don't push it.
I won't push it.
They debanked him.
They debank you. Who's they?
Woody pays him in silver ingots. That's the only currency he can pass anymore.
The mail is so heavy.
I lose so much on shipping, you don't even know. Why won't you send me gold?
I would love to see us explore the stars. That would be sick. I don't, whatever's more realistic. I never hear anyone talking by explore the stars. I just mean the cosmos, I guess, our initial ability to express ourselves within the cosmos. Like going to Venus and having a real deal fucking fort effectively that circles around it that people can live in. That would be awesome.
That's something we could if you say if that were like a 50-year project, we as a species could do that. If we could stop wasting our resources and slaughtering each other and behaving like chimpanzees with computers, we're just squandering an opportunity. I believe that with a tremendous amount of effort and resource allocation, we could have a moon base. We could have a base on Venus. Mars is a little sketchier. I think it's possible. Not in our lifetimes, no.
What do they call that? That quandary you get into when you want your spacecraft to go faster, so you add more fuel, but now it weighs more, so you need more fuel to push the extra fuel you get, and that just keeps going over and over. Is that a devil?
Tip of my tongue, right?
I think it's not you. Is that a devil's threesome?
That is not.
That's 22. I don't know.
Oh, shit, never mind.
Anyway, that's the case you get into whenever you try to go fast and take something somewhere in the solar system that isn't right next fucking to us. It would take,
unless we build a space elevator.
It's
how would that work?
It's an elevator that goes to space.
You need some graphene fucking tubes made at a rate that we can't make them to make a rope that's taut enough to carry its own weight as it goes into space, and then you counterweight it with a big thing that's sort of orbiting at the escape velocity, and then you're able to just elevate people up through it, and presumably you could pump fuel up to it, because when a spacecraft takes off, it burns a huge amount of fuel just to get to escape velocity and get into orbit around the Earth. All the fuel's gone. All the fuel that you would like to use to accelerate, off into the distance somewhere.
Are those our only two options, Venus or Mars?
Those aren't even options.
What?
I guess our eventual options.
If we find some way to go 5 times faster than we've ever gone before.
Which other planets are nearby? Because I thought you would have known.
So there's some asteroids.
Well, I know Mercury's kind of a shithole, and then after you get past Mars, you start getting in those gas giants.
Well, it's the asteroid belt that would have interesting stuff. Just like in the TV show The Expanse, there are some asteroids that have gravity, and you could create a hollow spot in the center of them and create fill it up with air. Seal it off and create an internal cavern inside of. They're very big asteroids. They're almost like minor planets. Some of them.
The moons of Jupiter or Saturn are interesting.
That's what I was kind of alluding to. Is are the moons there more? Would the cost of turning those moons of Saturn or Jupiter be less than the total terraforming that would be necessary in these other places?
Terraforming's not even a possibility. It's nowhere near something that we can do.
Saw Matt Damon growing fucking spuds.
That's not terraforming. Terraforming is altering, is turning a planet more like Earth. Terra is Latin for Earth. It's turning something into the Earth. We can't even control our own weather right now. We can't lower our temperature by 1 degree. And what you would need on Mars is you would need to create a magnetosphere. You need to create a magnetosphere so that as soon as you do get some atmosphere, it's not immediately scorched away by solar winds and cosmic rays and stuff.
God, what a difficult one. And if we set up a nice base on Mars with rivers and shit, a million years in the future when we can terraform, we got to keep the Indians and Bangladeshis out because they're going to throw fucking Coke cans in it immediately.
They can't come. For All Mankind is, do you watch For All Mankind, Drifter?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. So For All Mankind is an alternate reality. It's on Apple TV. Alternate reality where the Soviets beat us to the moon by like a week. Like we were close, but they beat us. And America says, never again. America says, we need more funding and we're going to do it. And they push. The space race doesn't end at the moon landing. It begins at the moon landing. And so this space race that never ends because the finish line keeps getting pushed forward. It's eventually going to be Mars, obviously. So by like the late 80s, early 90s, we have like tablet computers and video conferencing.
FaceTime, yeah.
We're FaceTiming and stuff like that.
So
like
it looks like the 80s in a lot of ways. You'd recognize the cars. You'd recognize the
clothing.
I'm trying to get away from costumes.
The culture.
Yeah. But, little things peek through because of the space race. Like, shit, that's like Apple's FaceTime.
So you follow like this group of characters. One of them is this redheaded chick named Margot who works at early days NASA alongside Werner von Braun. And she's a character who like through the decades is continuously part of the space program. She's like a behind the scenes director type character. And then you have like the guy who was going to be the main astronaut guy. I can't remember what his claim to fame was, but he's one of the main astronauts in the space program. And you follow him at the beginning. He's a hotshot astronaut. Like he lands on the moon eventually. His buddy does too. We're in like the 4th season, about to be the 5th, I think. He's an old man now. Like we started out in the 60s and now we're like, I think in the 2015s roughly is the new season. Mm-hmm. And like, he's like an old space cowboy now. Like we're on Mars. We're lassoing asteroids and competing over who gets the resources. Like
sounds like a better future than what we got now.
It totally is. The Mars space race. I would never spoil it, but it is awesome. Like because you don't know who's going to make it because the Soviets and the Americans and a private company all take off at roughly the same time, and they're kind of like neck and neck as you can be on a trip to Mars. But like stuff starts happening and one ship breaks down a little, and who's going to help the ship that broke down a little? Or are they going to go for the like first man on Mars, or go for being a human being and like helping these guys who are a little broke down here? And there's a lot of controversy over there. It's a great show. I love it.
Did you know the next season comes out in 8 days?
Yeah, I knew it was right around the corner. I saw the trailer the other day. I didn't watch it. I saw a still of it. And I can't remember his name, but the main astronaut dude.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that recommendation.
And Life on Mars.
Life on Mars.
Kyle, it finally happened.
It did. Well, I think it happened before. So it's interesting. They had that, what they call like a false alarm, like many years ago, where NASA ended up looking bad because they said they had no life on Mars. Actually, the first time it was Clinton announced it. I believe they found that meteorite in Antarctica or in the Arctic. I don't remember which. And it was from Mars. It had been something that hit Mars, blown a chunk of it up, and that had landed on Earth. And they found what looked like microbes or little wormy things or something. And they were wrong about that, apparently. Or if they weren't wrong about it, I think the consensus was, no, microbes aren't that small. And it was like, microbes on Earth aren't that small. Who's to say that maybe on Mars they're not extra tiny? This is a new form of life you're looking at. But they were like, no, this is no good. But Clinton like jumped the gun, I suppose, and was like, we've done it. We've done it. And so then 8 years later or so, NASA, they sent one of their rovers was on Mars, and they had a test for life. I think what they do is they take a sample of the soil and they feed it nutrients that have been tagged with radioactive isotopes. And then when that gives off gases, they can detect those gases coming out of it if it's metabolizing. And so that worked. They were like, oh, it worked. And then the scientists went back on it. They were like, oh, well, I know that was a test for life and it came back positive, but no, we don't like these parameters. And so there was disagreement there and they looked bad there. But this time they detected this a year ago. They've got visual little specklies that they found in a dried riverbed that's like 3 billion years old. And they're like, hey, this looks exactly like life. This looks exactly like microbes. This is a year ago. And they're like, all right, well, we're not jumping the gun this time. Let's figure this out. And they've spent the last year trying to figure out what this is, anything other than life. They're like, all right, that's life. But what else could it be? What else could, and for a year, they've not been able to come up with any other explanation other than those are microbes from 3 billion years ago that were alive on Mars. And so now they're going to send those samples back to Earth. So I think it's the Perseverance probe or the rover, took samples. It has them, and they're going to somehow send something down, grab those, send it back, and get it back to Earth, and that'll be final.
I hope they don't fuck it up, like land on the rover. Bullshit. Which one of these rocks was the microbe rock?
Some guy in a headset, like, ooh, promise you won't be mad.
I love that.
You're gonna hate me.
Okay, I have to tell you something. Promise you won't be mad. What'd you do? No. First, keep
up to promise.
I'm not promising that.
Holding your pinky out desperately. Yeah, but they better not blow it this time, or I'll never believe them.
Well, the consensus seems to be that it's live. Like everyone is saying it. The most conservative people who are normally poo-pooing like stuff like that, they're like, yeah, that's it. That's what life looks like. Those are little microbes living there, and that speckly stuff. To me, it's like, I don't know, man. Looks like a shiny rock. Or okay, I've seen granite that looks like that, but they seem sure. And every one of my like internet scientist guys that I watch is like, we've done it. It's official. This is it. And I don't know. I think it's really cool. I have always suspected that life is very common throughout the universe, but intelligent life is very rare. I think that's the deal. I think there's plenty of planets with like algae on them. And even more planets with microbes and little goofy things, and maybe a few planets with whole biomes with trees and
that lines up with the Fermi paradox, right? Like,
sure. There's a lot of
some sort of the Fermi paradox. I think I'm naming it correctly. The thing where there's like a filter that lots of life starts, but it's uncommon for life to advance to where we are, or even beyond where we are.
Well, that's a different thing, but yeah, it's all in the same vein. Well, the Fermi paradox is that that scientist, his name was Fermi, working at on the Manhattan Project at Los Alamos. They were all sitting around the table one day at lunch while they were making the bomb for the. And he asked the question, "Where are they? Where's all the life? We know we can do the math up there, the quintillion possible planets that exist or whatever it is. Where are they at?" And there's tons of answers for where they're at, and that's where like lots of sci-fi goes. The dark forest idea, the idea that the reason we don't see aliens with beacons just blasting off all the time is because you do that, then there's one race that's been alive for 2 billion years, and they go, are those guys smart? Too smart. Poof. And they just snuff you out.
The dark forest is only one explanation for the Fermi paradox. That being that, there's lots of intelligent life around. We're just all too scared to turn our lights on. Okay, that's one thing. Another is, there's lots of unintelligent life out there, but there's some sort of filter that stops these microbes from becoming people. Maybe the
and then becoming spacefarer,
stable or whatever.
It's tons of things that could like stop you along the way. And we've had 5 major extinctions on this planet where everything was essentially reset back to the beginning, more or less.
And this planet is kind of nicely protected by Jupiter. And Kyle knows this; he's into it. But like, I guess Jupiter's gravitational pull tends to prevent more asteroids and meteors from hitting us than we'd otherwise get.
Yeah, it's enormous.
Do we spend most of the time on the same side of the sun as Jupiter, with them more like behind us? Because I know like the planets aren't revolving in concert with one another. It's not like a line. So like sometimes they wouldn't be there. Sometimes we'd be over here and they'd be over there.
I'm guessing it's equal.
Well, that's like, irrelevant.
When one's
that part's
faster
irrelevant
than the
because
other.
It's creating a gravity well that's enormous, that's rotating. Not just. But in any case, the what was I going to say about the thing?
Was it related to the Fermi paradox, Jupiter, meteors, microbes? But yeah, anyway, I was just like, so Mars had life, but couldn't stick around.
Yeah, not good life.
That happens a lot.
Very
dried up. Mars and Venus were water worlds a few billion years ago. They had rivers and oceans and stuff like that, and they both ended up going in different directions. Venus went super hot and got an incredibly thick atmosphere. They think there might be life in the atmosphere of Venus. There's probes going to check that out. The Soviets in the 60s and 70s sent landers to Venus, and they kept sending better and better landers because Venus is such a hostile environment. The temperature on the surface is like 800, 900 degrees or something, hot enough to melt lead. It's full of acid, and the pressure is like 12 or 15 atmospheres, something crazy. So they had to send this crazy advanced, for the 70s, probe, this lander that they landed on the ground. They started taking pictures and sending the pictures back, but it like melted down after maybe 40 minutes or something like that. But they think that they're in the upper layers of Venus's atmosphere. If you were up there, you could pop your helmet off and be like, oh, this isn't so bad. I mean, it stinks, but like this is, so there's all these ideas about colonizing Venus with like floaty airships up in the atmosphere so that you could have scientists up there doing research. And then Mars went the other way. It lost its magnetosphere after it cooled down, after the core cooled down and stopped spinning. And then it lost that radioactive shield and it burnt off all of its water, and now it's got this incredibly thin atmosphere that is just shit, and the whole planet's irradiated.
Venus seems even worse than Mars somehow. Like if we were ever to utilize that, it needs to be like a prison planet or something. Like it's horrible.
Mars is small. Mars is like maybe 1/3 the mass of Earth, I think, and Venus is very similar to Earth.
Hear me out,
I think the
Taylor.
gravity would be.
I think you'll be okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
Venus is where we put the aliens.
Yes. And guess what? Guess who didn't put that on his 21 country no trade list? You're going to be praying for fucking Zimbabwe, dude.
Can you imagine the terror in his face locked into that?
I'd be terrified even knowing I was going to come back down. I'd be so spooked going up to
space. They launch him like one of those Tesla Roadsters that they sent up.
Brought to you by Red Bull.
Yeah. But yeah, life on Mars. I was pretty hyped about that. I know Taylor always says that microbes don't interest him, but I just think the idea that there can
lizard
be
or
life.
more. The Taylor lizard or more scale of life. It has to at least be a lizard.
I mean, I'd love to see a lizard. Yeah, a lizard would be sick. Little space lizard. I don't know.
What other parallel starting points would you add? You know, like what's equivalent to a lizard? A mouse?
Tadpole?
Tadpole. It's got to have a mouth, and it's got to have a way of like locomotion that I can see with my eye. Like I could see it move. Not just like, hey, this rock's pretty shiny.
Does it need a brain? Because I don't think a Venus flytrap is meeting your qualifications.
Yeah, it'd probably have to have some sort of brain, or at least like whatever jellyfish are working with, where it's all just spinal cord and nerve endings or something. Is that not right?
Yeah, I'm a little. I know they don't have brains.
Yeah,
and I know they don't recognize you. They certainly don't swim to the glass and beg for food or anything.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They're basically plants, really. Have you ever seen seals eat them? There's not even an attempt at an escape. They just float there and get owned.
What can they do?
They can't do anything. So I guess they are.
Have you ever seen scallops react to like predators?
Mm-hmm.
They do this sort of kind of thing and like try to like swim away. And it's like, man, I didn't think you could do that. I mean, I'm still going to eat your delicious asses, but like that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we eat cows. We're not making exceptions for those little creeps.
No.
I graduated from Bovine University.
I mean, you can see anything from space now because of satellites, but like you can really see it from space. That place is big.
I mean, there's no way you can actually see it from space.
With the
see
naked
it from
eye,
space
no.
is a spectrum, right? Like I think they can read a license plate from space.
Yeah. Even better.
Well, when I hear someone say you can see it from space, I feel like there's a baked-in assumption of like with the naked eye from space.
Yeah, you definitely.
Because otherwise, it's really not impressive. Because it's like, you know, we can see what brand of glasses you wear from low Earth orbit, and it's like, okay, but you were using technology. Like I was blown away when I found out you can't fucking see the Great Wall of China from space.
It's only 35 feet. It's like 50 feet wide. How could you possibly see it?
Total nonsense.
You could totally see it from space. You just need the right viewing device.
Yeah. But like that doesn't count. It shouldn't count.
You got to see with the naked eye. No, it's like 30, 50 feet wide.
Yeah, and look at this. This isn't fucking
On
space.
the other hand, Taylor, and this will blow your mind, you can see space from the Great Wall.
Now that I get. That makes sense. You just look up and it's like, wow, space. And,
yeah.
Space is pretty neat. Kyle, do you have, I know you're always falling asleep to informational videos about quasars and neutron stars, implosions, cosmology. I want you to expand my mind a little bit right now and blow me away with some cosmic knowledge.
I don't think I got anything new. The new thing is, and I can't speak on it because I didn't memorize everything they said, but I keep seeing all of my favorite cosmology YouTubers are going over this James Webb information that suggests that our universe exists within a black hole. They keep going down this laundry list of things that, like, if we did exist in a black hole, you would expect to see X, Y, and Z, and we do. You would also expect to see A, B, and C, and we do. And they go down this long laundry list of reasons why they believe our universe exists inside of a black hole. That's the most interesting thing that I've been trying to learn
Not
about.
Putting you on the spot.
I don't know the things. Yeah, I don't know the things.
Kind of want to see the video though.
There's a bunch of them.
How would we exist in a black hole? I thought you were just annihilated if you were in a black hole.
They don't know what's in a black hole, dude.
Oh, well, then all of those claims aren't really useful or meaningful.
Maybe if you watch the video.
Based on the information that I provided with complete ignorance other than the topic, then yes.
Nah.
Oh, well, then it's all bullshit.
I have an opinion, but I only saw the title and thumbnail.
It sounds like hokum to me.
All I know is that the smartest people that I know how to find on the internet use the most expensive piece of scientific equipment ever created, and they seem to all think the same thing might be a possibility. And so I find that very interesting.
Well, yeah, all the same people in that video think that. They're not going to bring some Russian super genius or Philippine super genius who's like, oh no, this is wrong. They all stupid.
That's not one video. It's a lot of different people talking about the discovery.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I don't like it.
You don't?
I don't like the thought that we're in a black hole because that's scary. Like in normal space, not in a black hole.
I don't know the difference anyway. And again, I don't think we're really here anyway. I think it might just be a simulation. I think we're on
all those videos you see about black holes. They do the what if you entered a black hole? And then they describe the most harrowing thing you could imagine, where it's not only would you be stretched to infinity and beyond, but you'd experience it for a jillion years. And it's oh my God, this is
spaghettification. They call it spaghettification. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like your theory or those theories because it means we're all just perhaps moments from spaghettification because we're right in the hole.
Oh, well, no. Well, no. No, but and I don't think we have to worry about black holes at all. Really, I don't think that's going to happen.
You think that's like the adult quicksand? It's going to be fine.
I don't think we have to worry about that one.
Okay. So, how long until the sun blows up?
Hundreds of billions of years.
It can't be hundreds of billions. I thought it was 5.
Why do you ask if you don't want the answer?
Well, because it would be like if you said, Taylor, how big is an ice hockey rink in the NHL? And I said 30,000 miles. You'd be like, well, that doesn't seem right. That's all I'm saying is I thought it was like the single digit of billions.
It might be.
Until the sun dies.
I don't know.
I Googled it. 4.5 to 5 billion years.
That's slow.
Time is nigh.
We got to get fucking moving.
I mean, that's Google AI, so
it won't explode though.
It'll expand into a red giant, and then it will consume Mercury and Venus. But we will only be. I think we're only going to be close enough to that expansion based on a YouTube video. I barely remember that.
Turn us into
we
rock.
would. Yes, we would die.
We're all going to. Well, we just need to move the Earth right to it. Well, think about like maybe those Jovian moons, those moons around Jupiter would be more habitable if the sun were a red giant, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the sun
by that point, if we haven't seriously got moving through space, it's over.
I mean, we're not even us in a billion years. You know what I mean? Like if you go back a billion and look at what we were in Like we're not.
Taylor's like, if we don't get our act together in the next 4.5 to 5 billion years, it's over.
We're in trouble, boys. You know, this is this is where like Michio Kaku would be like, and it will destroy itself in 4.5 billion years, which may seem like a long time, but cosmically it is the blink of an eye. And so it'd be like, oh, fuck.
That reminds me of Philomena Kunk. Have you seen the Philomena Kunk stuff?
Is that a Simpsons character? What are you talking about?
You don't know what I'm talking about. No. It's the British interviewer who plays dumb while she interviews brilliant people around the world. And she like kind of pranks them with her ignorance.
I haven't seen that. Sounds funny.
She'd be like, I can't think of some good examples, but she would, for example, like she would ask that Hideo Akaki guy, like, when is the sun going to, melt the earth? And he'd be like, oh, it's going to be 4.5 billion years from now. She's like, oh no. Well, we got to get a move on. What are we going to do? She said what she asked him. She's like, isn't it she's like, it's a good thing that those nuclear weapons aren't real. And he's like, well, they very much are a real thing.
Oh, I've seen that clip.
We have thousands of them, in fact, deployed around the world. She's like, yeah, but they're all duds, right? No. And she like tears up at the realization that the world is nuclearized.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh my God.
Yeah. No,
that's very funny.
She's hilarious. I love those interviews, that character she does. And a lot of the time, those people don't see it coming and they'll get a little snotty. She's interviewing some professor of literature or something. And she's like, so King Arthur, he came a lot, right? And she's like, I believe you're referring to Camelot. No, says right here, came a lot. Did he come more than an average man or like a teaspoon? Well, the only evidence we have, he had several sons. Just like trying not to call this lady a buffoon. That show's good.
No, I've seen, now that I looked her up, Diane Morgan is her name. I've seen like the picture added to like meme posts and things. Mm-hmm. So, and I just never really got it.
Yeah, that's the whole bit. She's incredibly ignorant and that she's very strong-headed. She will mispronounce things about what this person does for a living. They're like, actually it's this. She's like, no, says it right here.
He came a lot.
I like British humor. I like the dryness of British humor, and I like the British. Really shadow. I don't know about the people. Scandinavian humor is pretty good too. I like every now and then I end up watching some Scandinavian sitcom, and they also have this sort of like, I don't know. It's dark. It's sort of a dark humor about death and things like that. I like their sense of humor as well.
Yeah, the Scandinavian humor, like, the seasons are like death, rebirth, all of that. But it makes sense. Like the Scandinavians are living in a season where like the death portion of it is a lot bigger and longer than the rebirth part of it. Like the spring, like their springs probably aren't that awesome because the winters are so long. It's like the spring is brief and then you get the summer and then it's back into like a fall, which is basically winter and then just winter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that influences their humor.
I would think they would have more time to sit around the fire and tell jokes. I feel like the harder
that is true. They do have silly voices.
Like I feel like the harder your existence is, not just as a culture, but just as a human being, the more developed and cultured your sense of humor will become. Like I bet those guys down in during the Blitz in World War II, down in the subways hiding from the bombs, had some real knee slappers.
Yeah. Maybe you can also like develop humor just by being horrified of being ostracized in middle school. Hypothetically, you could be so self-conscious that you revert into that from
similar levels of stress hormones, probably being in the Blitz versus like 8th grade. Similar stressors.
Yeah,
makes sense. Sure.
It's stressful. 8th grade sucks.
Have you guys seen the 3-Eye Atlas fucking interstellar comet thing?
Yeah, I've been following that.
Tell me, are we gonna get hit?
No,
no, we're not gonna get hit. But it's the third interstellar object that we've ever seen. It's by far the fastest one, and it has a lot of bizarre, eccentric things that it's doing. Like it's off-gassing. It's too far away from the sun to be letting off too much CO2. It's basically like refactoring the way that people understand interstellar comets, objects, because of how strange it is and how impossible. There's a lot of clickbait and nonsense about it out there, but the most interesting thing is that the perihelion, like so the closest point to the sun in the solar system, when the comet reaches that point, that's when we can learn the most about what it is, how it interacts with our in how we understand physics with our set of data, because everything we view really is based on its relationship with our sun. So the perihelion is like the number one most important thing, and when it hits that, it won't be visible. And a lot of people think that it's going to they think it's an alien ship, it's a mothership that's coming to investigate us. That's what a lot of the theories are.
Slow, though.
It is. They believe that it's older than our solar system. Yeah. Our solar system's like 4.6 billion years old. They think it's like 7 something billion years old based on the direction that it's come. It came from the same direction within a certain percentage point of probability that it could have been what caused the WOW signal in 1979, which is that radio frequency.
Oh, they explained that away. They figured out what that was. That was like reflected radio traffic or something.
Yeah, that's what it's like. There's a lot of these really strange little. There's this guy Avi Loeb or whatever the fuck his name is, a Harvard astrophysicist or whatever they call those people. But it's really interesting.
I think they're able to take a good look at it using that. There's a orbiter around Mars, and I think it'll have a good look at it when it comes pretty close. But
yeah, it will.
But when it gets close to our sun, like you said, we're gonna be on the opposite side. We won't be able to see it.
When you say interstellar object, that just means something
from
out there.
Star system.
Yeah, it's shooting through
We've only
our
seen
solar system.
3 of those ever.
3, yeah. Oumuamua.
Everything around us is orbiting our sun. All the comets, the meteorites, the asteroids, the Oort cloud, all that stuff way the fuck out there, going out to an entire light year away is being gravitationally connected to our sun, and it's part of our solar system. Solar is the name of the sun is the Sol. Is Sol. So the solar system is everything that's in our sun's system. But
you're telling me now for the first time.
This is somewhere else.
Everything's Sol.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting though, and I think the likelihood that it's aliens, according to a Harvard astrophysicist science guy, is like 30% or some shit like that. That it's artificial.
What a funny day! He's sitting down. They're like, "We need you to have your report on your percentage guesses," and he's just like.
About 30.
Fucking 30. Actually, no, they're gonna push back on that.
What number would increase my funding?
If I say 31, it sounds like I did some math here instead of just going with it. Yeah,
it's going way too slow to be aliens.
I had no idea that.
Yeah,
why is it
those are
slow?
old? Because they'd be old. They'd be too old.
It could slow down. Like it could have been going faster and slowed down.
It's way too slow for generational shit. Like it's going like 90,000 kilometers per hour or something. It would take like 70,000 years to get to the next star at that speed.
Be patient.
Yeah, that's why I'm not. You said it was explained away with the WOW signal thing, but that's why they even thought that could be a possibility. Is like in 1979, it was just coming to the fucking edge of our shit where we could measure what it's doing. But yeah, I think it's going like it's going much faster than Oumuamua and Borisov, the other 2 interstellar objects. I don't remember how fast. I think it's like 100-some thousand miles per hour.
Do you know how big it is?
Yeah, it's multiple kilometers. I know that. Let me see how big it is. How big?
Because usually the numbers to do with space stuff are so, literally astronomical that when you hear this is the 3rd interstellar object, it's like, that's crazy. Either our detection is so much more inferior and like anachronistic than we think it is, or we truly are kind of alone.
I didn't realize how uncommon it was for things from others. Solar
it's
systems.
Not uncommon.
Yeah.
There's only 3.
Only 3.
That's detected. A lot, Taylor.
We're detecting them more now because the tech has gotten better and because they put up better radio telescopes. And there's one in Hawaii and one in South America. I think the one in Hawaii detected Oumuamua, which would explain the name away. We're just gotten better tech and better telescopes and are looking more. It's not that I think it's rare that interstellar objects happen, and the fact that Atlas is so big is a head scratcher to them because most objects aren't that big. So for one that big to show up is weird.
And that big to thread the needle from that point of space to pass so closely by 3 planets. That's another one of the big points for the science people is that it's like kind of threading the needle through our solar system, which is bizarre.
Could this be overblown?
Yes. No,
because NASA is trying to cover for the fact that they will not go back to the moon.
They will just no sooner than 2025.
I don't know.
It's a few more months and they live up to their promise.
Remember, they pushed it back. They pushed it back.
I know, but I love the no sooner than deadline. I've never been able to give one of those my entire career.
That's so. It is such a fuck you estimation. Like people are like, we really want to go back to the moon again. It was pretty neat, and they're like, get fucked. No sooner than 2025, idiot. Yeah, they need to get off their asses at NASA, get us back to the moon, find something neat up there. No more of these fucking amoebas. No more of these little bullshit. Maybe it's life, maybe it's not. Lizard or bigger. Like it's it has to be
lizard.
But you're gonna have to pay more tax.
Lizard or bigger, or I don't give a fuck, because they have gone to this. They've gone back to this well so many times it's dry, because they fibbed their asses off about going back to the moon.
No, they were honest.
They said no sooner than 2025, and then they said no sooner than 2028. Yeah, they are.
China's
just
going. We're in a pitiful excuse for a space race with China right now. I don't know who's going to win because China doesn't. I think it's really hard to do that thing and to get back. And I think it would be an embarrassment if you lost your astronauts. And I think both the U.S. and China are going to try to not have a disaster. Getting beaten there isn't nearly as bad as exploding 4 or 5 of your best and brightest on global TV.
We'll win because if we don't, we'll change the rules.
Yes. New rule. Now it's a race to get 6 people on there one time.
Yeah. We just
That's what we did, dude. When you look at the space race between America and Russia, it's hilarious. It's like Russia. We just kept moving the goalposts. It was like, first in space, lost that, fuck it. All right, first in make it all the way around, I lost that, fuck it. Oh, fastest human ever, I lost that, fuck it. First on the moon, we won, game over, let's stop.
Mm-hmm.
But
we don't compete.
Well, I disagree with that because I don't disagree with them beating us on many of the most important milestones, but the goal was the moon the whole time, it seemed. And if they I think if just like in For All Mankind, if the Soviets had said, well, now it's Mars, we'd have kept going and like tried to beat them to Mars, but they didn't. They were like, shucks. Like,
you think Stanley Kubrick had another brilliant piece in him?
Yeah.
Do that.
See if the Soviets.
I would have loved to hear the phone conversation from Mars to Nixon. It gets your goat so much.
The Soviets the Soviets and the Chinese and America are the 3 nations in the world who have brought back rocks from the moon. Mm-hmm. They all radiocarbon date and isotope date exactly the same. The Chinese would have to lie for us to have faked the moon landing. The Russians would then also have to lie for us to have faked the moon landing.
I believe
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, dude, I want the moon landing to be real so much. I'm not about to start poking holes in it. That's kind of the pinnacle of Western civilization, exploration, discovery, intuition. Like that's kind of right there at the tippity top.
I'm looking at what the space race was about, and they're echoing what I said. They said first it was about getting satellites, and then Russia won that. And then it was about getting a human in space in orbital flight. Russia won those. And then it was about landing on the moon. That was us. And then it was about having a space station. That was Russia. We lost 3 out of the 4 races, and the only one you hear in America is the one we won.
Hey, how do you get a space station out in space?
Very slowly. They have to like bring little pieces up and screw it in.
That was all those things were prerequisites to the moon landing though. Like and it wasn't just those 3 things they beat us to. There's like a dozen different ones.
I feel like they poked a hole in our narrative, which was, hey, once we got a man on the moon, that was the real goal line and it stopped. Meanwhile, the Russians kept going and we didn't. And they made an international space station that lasted for decades, and we just became passengers on their space station.
You're correct, Woody, but I'm American, and so I'm not gonna accept that. I'm gonna go along with the rule change. So
the carbon dating stuff on the moon is do they say how old it is? Kyle?
Yeah. So the moon was created when a Mars-sized body that they call Theia impacted Earth. I think they know when. I don't remember the exact number, but it's in billions of years. And both the Earth and Theia liquefied, and there's these 3D models to show how they sort of did this thing. And the moon glooped off. Yeah. And so the moon's composition is half that of Earth and half that of Theia. But they can tell when that happened, and they know that that's what happened.
They call that the giant impact hypothesis. Like this is so your wheelhouse. What are the alternate theories? Because I've never heard other theories about how the moon could have come into existence other than the one you just put out there.
Well, like I said,
there have to be other thoughts, right?
There are other thoughts, but that's the accepted explanation for.
I believe you. I'm just curious.
Well, the way so a lot of Jupiter's moons are believed to have been captured. For example, like because its gravity's so big and it's out there near the asteroid belt and objects that are coming in, it catches them, and it's got like, I don't know how many moons Jupiter has, but it might be 100, might be 150 or 250. It's crazy.
But, Professor, I have a question. What can I do to be as knowledgeable about space as you are? What the fuck are you reading? Because I want to read the same.
I watch Astrum, and I watch John Michael Gautier. And I watch a bunch of space YouTubers and cosmology YouTubers. I'm really interested in that stuff.
Yeah, I just started with Neil.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson's a really good like entry point. I liked the Cosmos remake that he did with what's his name that makes Seth MacFarlane. That's really good.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah,
Seth MacFarlane was he doing?
He produced
it.
Spawn, dude.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the other. That's the other. Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy. You're thinking of the other MacFarlane, the guy who wrote Spawn. I can't think of his name.
I don't know who that is.
He wrote Spawn, the comic. You know, Dark Horse Comics.
Okay, I prefer the Family Guy MacFarlane.
I do too. I think the other MacFarlane is a big BLM guy, and he gives a lot of his comic money to things like that. I think he also wrote Sin City.
Todd McFarlane is
Todd McFarlane. That's who it was.
And thank you, Zach.
He didn't.
The only problem with Neil deGrasse Tyson are how he tweets every Christmas, like, this is the winter solstice and it's like, calm the fuck down, Neil. Like, people are having fun. Yeah. And also people are trying to have a good time with their family and you're like poking holes. And then also he's the arch Pluto denier. He denies Pluto's existence entirely.
You know that's not true.
No, it is. It is.
What do you mean? Like Pluto, which became a moon or a dead planet or a dwarf planet.
He was part of the team that was like, oh, I don't think Pluto should be a planet. And then they all like high-fived and huffed their own farts.
So the problem with
planet
that,
in my eyes.
You would have to increase the number of planets dramatically. Like I think Ceres is the biggest asteroid in our asteroid field. It's bigger than Pluto.
Ceres
and I think there are larger Kuiper belt objects out there where Jupiter is than Jupiter. And so they came up with a classification definition, and one of the requirements to be a planet was you have to have cleared out your orbital path.
Ceres is less than half the size of Pluto.
Is it? Okay.
Ceres is 584 mile diameter. Pluto, a whopping planet size 1,500 mile.
Which one is more massive though?
Who's to say? I haven't Googled that yet.
You go ahead and type that
in. Jesus. The reason I was asking about the carbon dating stuff is because, like last month, I think they carbon dated the Boogosphere. Are you guys familiar with the Boogosphere? The Colombian, the Colombian orb that hit power lines. It fell in the forest. Some, couple of Colombian dudes grabbed it. They sent it. They started examining it, and just recently, the University of Georgia's Center for Applied Isotope Studies dated it at 12,560, the internal resin of the Boogosphere. And then if you look at the hieroglyphics around this sphere. They what the fuck did so I'm reading here. Anyway, it like matches up with like the weirdest shit, like Stonehenge. It looks like Stonehenge. It's quite gnarly, the story about the Boogosphere.
This I've never heard of this.
12,000 years old. That feels very young in the cosmos, right? Like we had like people were chill, like there were cities. like
well, when this is I mean,
there weren't cities.
Yeah, I'm if you think about 12,560 years ago, wow. the technology was so advanced that they created this orb that floats and maneuvers however it feels like through our own, atmosphere. No resistance, has does what it pleases. It gets a electrical shock, falls to the bottom of the forest floor, and they pick it up, and no one's died from radiation, and they dated it at 12,000. So that means that 12,560 years ago, the technology was, I don't know how advanced we truly are, right? Obviously, nobody knows, but we don't have. I haven't seen any of that.
I like that idea. It's a cool thing to think about. That like there was an apex civilization or civilizations before us that it surpassed us, and then all was lost in some calamitous event or something, and then now we're eking our way back. It's the same way the way like every major religion has like a flood story at some part. Mm-hmm. It's like that's weird. Like there's no way they were making it up over here and making it up over here and making it up over here, and over here, and they're all lined up like there had to have been something. They were referencing something.
Göbekli Tepe is 11,000 years old. That site in Turkey, that religious site with the enormous pillars and stuff that was built when we were supposedly just hunter-gatherers. That's that place that they believe was destroyed by a comet impact that triggered the Younger Dryas climate change event, which was also around that time period, like 11 or 14,000 years ago or something like that. That's what that Graham Hancock guy is always going on about. I can't remember the name of his book, but it's really good. And then he's been on Rogan a bunch. And he's got he's got a couple of Netflix shows or a couple seasons of a Netflix show.
I watched. I don't watch a lot of Rogan, but I watched the one with Graham Hancock because you told me to, and then Woody told me to listen to one that had some other space guy on it that was very interesting. I don't remember his name, but I liked both of them.
Chris Cox, maybe. Chris.
That he has a very soothing voice.
Yes, he was very soothing. I almost
and he's always very happy and excited about.
Oh yeah, that's the. Oh man, I love that. I watched. I went
exploring this guy.
I like watched other interviews with him, and they'll be like, "So space, what is it, man?" And then he'll be like, "That's the thing that's so very exciting is that every day we find new, expensive horizons, things to study, and if it's something you're interested in, it's truly inconceivable the amount of things to look at, to study, to
bro, enjoy. That's so good.
And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I'm watching that, and I'm like, man, I want to be as happy about something as this guy is about the universe. Like that guy wakes up every morning, big cup of coffee, fucking space. Everything.
Did you see the Kunk lady, right? Who does the mock interviews? The comedy interviews.
Oh, she's the redhead
like
lady,
Philomena Kunk or whatever. She interviewed that guy you're talking about, and she's giving him a hard time. And at one point, she's like, "Am I wasting your time?" And he's like, "Yes, you are.
Yes, you are wasting my time. But in the scheme of things,
but what is time?
Time is all relative, of course."
Yeah, that guy rocks. I need to watch more of him. I get like really high and then watch stuff about space. But if I get too high, it spooks me. And I have to try and distract myself. Yeah, because I'm like, oh my goodness. Isn't it disappointing seeing like pop culture's idea from the past of how far we'd be now? Like obviously it was sci-fi back then, of course, but like seeing a movie made in 1952 where it's like people traipsing around Mars in a dome or something, like, right. And we're still not there, light years from that, not even in the vicinity.
We're not going to Mars. I really
Mars sucks. We need to skip over Mars and go to one of those cool moons that Jupiter or Saturn has.
Europa or something.
Yeah. Seems like we have enough info from rovers on Mars that like this is as desolate a hellscape as the moon is. It's just redder.
If you were going to go to Mars and stay there, you would need to be in a cave. You would need to be living down in a cave system. There's too much radiation on the surface. But just the trip alone, like we've had people spend like, I don't know what the record is, but it's around a year or so in space continuously. But they're in low Earth orbit, still protected by Earth's magnetic field from all of the radiation that's just in space and all the solar winds. You would be kind of not in interstellar space, but interplanetary space, going to Mars for 6 to 9 months. We don't know what that'll do to people. And by the time they get there, if they go 6 months there, and then you'd have to stay there for some amount of time before the next launch window to come back. Because if you went there and turned around, it might be a 9-month journey back. You got to wait till Mars comes back around into that launch key. So you have to stay there for several more months, and then somehow or another you come back. So you're going to be spending a year in space in 0G, and then at least 3 months or something like that on Mars. I don't know what the gravity is there. It's like 1/3 or something like that. Your heart, your whole pulmonary system, your brain, your eyes change shape when they're in 0G. I think they become oval and your vision gets all fucked up. Like you might not be able to come back. Like if you came back after that trip I'm describing, 12 months in 0G and several months and 1/6 on Mars, forgetting about the amount of radiation you're absorbing. It's like fucking X-ray every day or something like that for the next couple of years or something. Like just the 0G stuff is going to change your body in such a way. Your bones are going to be you're going to have bird bones. Your heart's going to be, I think, enlarged or shrunk. I don't remember which, but it's going to be fucked up.
Not ideal either way. Yeah.
Yeah. And forget the neurological stuff too. Like
you're crazy. You've been on Mars for 6 months.
You've been in a capsule with like 3 other dudes for a year. You better be friendly. Like you better be best pals.
Talk about gay for the stay.
I was gonna make that same
joke. I mean, that could be. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say that I remember. I think it was Chris Hadfield talking about the mental things that it'll do to you. That astronaut Chris Hadfield, I think, was one of the ones that when he came back to Earth after not even all that long in space, he kept dropping everything because he had gotten used to just being able to let go of it and it stay there, and then he does something. So he'd just be drinking his coffee and just drop it on the ground.
The isolation made him crazy. He came back with weird tattoos and a penis implant.
Those
Mars, not Mars, not the moon.
That could be our new death row, though. Instead of electrocuting people, we send them to space, see what happens.
We spent $10,000 a pound to launch them into low Earth orbit.
Well, not low Earth orbit. I'm talking
probably cheaper than death row.
Zoot them. Yeah,
it might actually be cheaper than death row if they spend 30 or 40 years on that shit.
Yeah, send them to Europa, see how far they go, and then you really could be like,
Europa's so far away. Europa's, I'm guessing off the top of my head, I bet Europa is a 3-year journey, if not more.
Well, if they're on death row,
I bet it's
life
more.
Sentence.
I bet it's 3 to 5 years to get to. No, I bet it's more than that. I bet it's 8 or 9 years or something.
We could send
fucking far away.
We could send convicts. Like this literally worked, and now Australia is a country. Like, think about that.
Prison colony.
Yeah, we're not going to Mars. I hope what they do is they actually get that moon base like going where like I think Elon's going to use his rockets to like land his rocket the way you normally see them do, but then they'll lay it on its side and you'll have this cylinder on its side that can be like a module. Like obviously, you live in that thing and
how long did you get to get to Europa?
I'm going to call it 9 years.
Okay. ChatGPT says 5 to 7.
Okay.
I'm still a hell of a long journey, like he says, multiple times longer than Mars.
Right. And then there's some other questions like launch windows and like if it's 6 years each way, is the launch window like twice a year, or is it every 4 years there's a launch window? I don't know.
I have no idea because the planets aren't always lined up in a nice, friendly way for us to do that shit.
Most of the time they're not.
Most of the time it's a real clusterfuck out there. Seemingly. Everything's doing its own, playing by its own rules.
So what are the moons of Jupiter like more closely sized to Earth, or
because there's a couple of them that are ice shell moons, So it's frozen on the outside and liquid ocean on the inside.
Damn.
And there are these geysers of liquid water that come up from the crevices and the surface. And I think by the color of like the ice that's been exposed to it, they can identify amino acids. So they think that there's some dark salt ocean inside these moons that could have life in it. There could be some sort of weird shrimps down there, or I don't know what. Nobody knows what.
Damn it!
But it's kilometers of ice, and it's not like 2 or 3 kilometers of ice. I think it's like 20 kilometers of fucking ice down to the ocean. It's not like you're gonna land there and then drill. Like we can't. Yeah. I think we struggled to drill into that Antarctic ice lake. I think it's called Vostok. The Soviets or the Russians, I don't remember which, bored down into that thing, into this it's under Antarctica. It's this, I think it might be freshwater, but there's a lake underneath there, and there were fish down there that must have been locked down there for millions of years.
Like a rogue species at that point.
Wait, maybe they weren't.
I don't know if there were fish down there, but I know Russia did that boring experiment where they just went as far down as but not boring. Cool experiment with boring, where they went as far down as they could, and I think they stopped literally because it got too spooky. Like,
during the Cold War, we had a lot of pissing contests with them, like in every technology and every field, and one of them was drilling a hole in the earth, and they won. They drilled this absurdly deep borehole, and I remember when I was a kid, my mom was like. Or like the old wives' tale was that they stopped because they heard the screams of people in hell. And I remember believing that as a kid. Like the Russians discovered hell.
They found it. It's real.
It's down there.
I am done working on this project. Too spooky. Lots of scream.
Like you're a demon.
The Kola super deep borehole.
That's it.
It's the furthest down we've ever. 12,262 meters. 40,000 feet in freedom units.
Thank you. I needed the freedom.
Yeah. In 1989. Oh, that was right near their end. Maybe they would have kept going if they didn't, collapse.
It's still there. They just like I think they bolted like a steel plate on top and called it quits.
So was it like 7-8 miles, something like that down then?
Yeah. Almost.
Wow. That's insane. I wonder how big it was. Like, was it like maybe that big, like a dinner plate?
I bet it's bigger at the top. I just made that up, but I bet the top bit is extra wide.
Could be. I don't know. I want to know what it sounds like, because have you ever heard people drop rocks down those like deep boreholes?
Yeah,
and it like makes that crazy reverberation noise. Yeah, like a bullet pinging sound. Someone at some point in Russia had to drop something down there. There's
probably all kind of shit at the bottom of that hole. People being curious.
How hard it is to get dirt up here before and you're dropping rocks in there.
I bet you'd get in trouble.
I dropped my wrench.
Oh fuck!
It'll land in 2 days.
You have magnet and rope, dude. It's 8 fucking miles. It hasn't even hit the bottom yet. While we're having this conversation.
Not to be, needy, but can I get my phone back? Like, no, your phone is now some form of lava. Like
that's what I was wondering. If you're that deep, do you start getting like the increased temperatures from the Earth's core? Yeah. I wonder. I mean, you're close enough, right?
You think you're still in the crust, right? At that point,
yeah, I think you still would be in the crust, but
you're definitely still in the crust. The crust is very deep, but it's there's a formula for how many degrees it heats up per like X amount of like feet. Because I've heard them. There's some diamond mine in Africa, and they were showing how oppressive the heat was as they went level by level down deep into it. It's crazy deep. But yeah, it gets hot down there.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'd heard about it too. Is there's some kind of like a formula for it? The farther down that you go, it'll go up by like a degree per this many feet or yards or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extreme heat. About 640 degrees.
Golly.
Fahrenheit.
So I wonder what kind of logistical issues they ran against. If it really was just because they collapsed, or if it's because they were like, okay, that's about it. We can't go farther than that.
I don't remember why they stopped. I
think if they've stopped in 1989, It's because they were, death's door. Like, they didn't have time for drilling.
That was probably part of it.
But yeah, 356 degrees Fahrenheit at the bottom of that.
Yeah,
I think
is that what you got?
That's what I got.
You sure it wasn't Celsius?
It says 180 Celsius.
Okay.
But who's to fucking say?
I don't even think I've heard that high of a number with Celsius before.
It says
I wish the Cold War kept going.
The rock behaves more like a plasticky putty, like a thick putty down there.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I bet steel does too.
I was curious about where that Roadster was. If you don't remember, Elon early on was testing Starship, I think, or maybe one of the earlier versions of it, and wanted to prove that he could lift X amount of weight. And the other option was launching concrete blocks or something, like they just needed a weight. And then he was like, I got the perfect idea. Let's send up one of my Roadsters. It's great advertising. And it was. And if you don't remember, there's that famous picture of a fake astronaut sitting behind the wheel of a red Tesla convertible in space.
Wait. I need an idiocy check. It was a real fake astronaut, though. It wasn't a Photoshoп fake.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's yet another Photoshop I fell for.
They put a suit, behind the wheel. But I was like, where's that thing at now? That thing's out on this crazy orbit now around the sun. Like they showed its path.
Wait, around the sun. Not the Earth. Okay.
Oh no, they launched.
Yeah. It says the next notable close approach to Earth is in 2047 at around 5 million kilometers.
Yeah, it's been out beyond.
Close does some heavy lifting in space talk, where they're like, it missed us by
isn't as far as miles.
That's true. Or you'll see some guy at NASA be like, you have no idea, this is coming right for us, a cunt hair away. 1 quadrillion fathoms. It's okay, dude.
I think when something starts passing within the orbit of the moon, that's scary. That's scary to me. Like, I think the moon's 250,000 miles away.
Could crack it in half. Go to the other side of the planet. Now we don't have those pesky tides.
I mean, I wouldn't want it to hit the. What if it hit the moon and shattered it and it turned into a ring system around us that slowly rained down on us over time? That'd be fun. Space is terrifying.
Down? It wouldn't just stay up there like a ring, like it would slowly.
Oh, rings go away. Saturn's going to lose. Earth used to have rings, and Saturn will eventually lose its rings. Uranus has rings. Neptune has rings. And like I said, Earth used to have rings. There's like clear evidence of it. You can see where over time the particles that were part of the rings laid this sediment layer down.
Neptune has the vertical ring, right?
Neptune or Uranus? I get them mixed up. They're so similar. They're both way the fuck out there, and they're both like a light blue color.
Yeah, a couple of who cares planets. Seriously, like what have they ever done for us?
The flyover planets.
Yeah, they're terrible planets. Mars should be the flyover planet. Jupiter is the coolest one. It's just a damn shame that it's a gas giant, and I don't think there's any way for us to even make cool. We could use the moon, and I get their moons. That would be neat to see. Fucking the giant that was Jupiter, like dominating the sky for like 4 days, and then it would be so ominous. You'd be like, "This, I didn't evolve to be here, dude." I beat late.
I can hardly wrap my head around a gas planet. Like the gravitational pull is so big. Why doesn't the gas like get pulled into something more solid? And every time I try to watch a video on like what it would be like to stand on Jupiter, it's like, you'd die, you'd be crushed, the gravity's so heavy, you'd weigh this. Stop it. I want to know, like, what happens if I stand on Jupiter? Like, what does it look like? How is it gooey above? Is it like a
metallic hydrogen?
Yeah. It's like a cloud. You just whoop right through.
I think the center of Jupiter is metallic hydrogen. It has crushed the gas down into a metal. So I think it's like solid doesn't really fit. I don't think, but it may be like a giant ball of mercury that's compressed so hard that it might as well be a solid. I don't know how big that core would even be because Jupiter itself is gargantuan. Like when you see Jupiter compared to the Earth, it's like, oh, well, that's not even close. Like I think the Great Red Spot or something is like 3 times bigger than the Earth.
Zach, like, can you find a picture of Jupiter and Earth like next to each other? Like you see what I'm going for. This is sort of a silly worded question, but
yeah. Looks like it's definitely, or who knows? This is just some picture on Universe Today. Maybe it's not to scale.
They're always lying.
Well, it doesn't say to scale here, and I've been tricked by that before. I think I'm looking at it to scale picture, and I'm like, oh, I feel foolish.
That's how. Oh my god. Yeah. See, like the Great Red Spot is similar size to Earth there.
It's actually closer than I thought. Like when you were like, they're not even close. I was picturing it compared to some suns. I mean, to say stars. Like there are stars that make
as
Jupiter
big as a solar system.
Yeah, they make Earth look like a speck of dust, and Earth's a lot more than that. Earth. If it was a fast traveling meteor, it would have an impact on Jupiter.
It would be a gargantuan impact. There was something, Levy 9 or something was the impact that we recorded a while back, many years ago now, of that hit Jupiter, and it's the biggest impact ever viewed by man. It hit Earth and made an explosion. It hit Jupiter and made an explosion like as big as Earth or something. You can see it hitting Jupiter and making these huge explosions. Have you ever seen the polar cap of Jupiter? How it's got that hexagon?
I don't think so.
There's a hexagonal formation on the north pole of Jupiter, system? And they don't really know. And there's frequently this weird green ball lightning up there that they also can't explain. And when they want clickbait, they're like, alien lights on the north pole of Jupiter. And it's like, man, those guys are tough.
Yeah, right.
If you guys had to survive at NASA for like a month without being outed as someone who didn't know jack shit about space, what would your tactic be?
What's my job at NASA though? That's important because they got a guy sweeping up, and I can fit right in.
No. You're wearing a lab coat and you have glasses on.
I feel like I have enough time in IT to like a month. You say
a month?
Like, Woody, we need this from you. All right. I can give you a date for a date. Like by Friday, I'll tell you how long it will take to do this. And then Friday comes around and I'm like, oh, that's a 3-week project. That's 4 weeks right there.
Damn, that's brilliant. That's really good.
I'm nice at this, bro. I'm nice at this.
I think I could bullshit and delegate my way through it. I think Einstein had that thing where he'd been going around doing this tour, going to all these colleges and universities and stuff, and giving the same speech about special relativity or general relativity or whatever. And his driver would always sit in the back of the room and he'd watch this thing. So year in, this driver has seen this speech hundreds of times. And so one time they go in and and Einstein's like, hey, you really think you could give the speech? And he's like, absolutely. I watch you do this every day, sometimes 3 times a day. He's like, let's switch clothes. Puts on the chauffeur's outfit. Other guy puts on Einstein's fucking goofy hat or whatever. And he goes up there and he gives Einstein's speech on relativity to this room full of experts, like the brilliant minds. And they ask the driver a follow-up question, and something really difficult he has no idea because he just knows the speech.
Yeah.
He's lines in a play.
Wouldn't you like to know?
and so the driver says, that is such a simple question. I'm not even going to give you an answer. Actually, I'm going to have my driver take this one. and Einstein stands up in the chauffeur's outfit and cap, and he gives an Einsteinian answer to this question. And everyone looks at that guy like a moron. And of course, everyone in the room was like, yeah, how does that work? So you're saying time slows down relative to mass, energy, and speed? Explain that. And then Einstein himself stands up, explains it as a chauffeur. And now everybody's terrified to ask the driver a follow-up, lest they be shamed as well.
Is this story true or like urban legend?
I choose to believe it's true.
But Albert Einstein looks so distinctive. Like everyone walking in is such a fan of him. They're going to see Albert Einstein sitting there in a newsboy cap, and they're going to be like, "What the fuck is this like tall, dark-haired young guy doing talking to us?"
Apparently not at this time. I don't think he was quite the social media sensation in like 52.
Kyle didn't say it. I just assumed it was a Driving Miss Daisy situation where the driver's black. How did he pull this off? I don't know.
You sure do know your physics, sir.
Man, those are really better ideas than mine. I was just thinking that I'd have to like find a way to bribe workers there first to send out emails being like, this guy Don't bother him with anything that isn't a huge deal. He's a bit eccentric. You'll find that out. And then like for a while, I just have like 2 fidget spinners and I refuse to address anything. When people touch me, I recoil and I just like sit there and I'll spend hours staring at diagrams and they'll be like, he's musing. And then I'll just go like, then I go spend like hours in a notebook and vision of them trying to perfect that Superman S. And anytime they come over, I'm like, I hide it, and then I get let go a month later.
I can imagine maybe rewatching some George Costanza for inspiration. He would be able to do this, right? Like that scene where he gets pissed off at everything, and they say he's trying so hard.
Yeah, he's just pretending to be crippled for bathroom privileges for long term. Very funny, but yeah, that would be my plan. I don't know. I don't think any of us would survive. They'd ask some like finder's question early on about space that was easy for them, but only if you're like in the know.
Well, I just imagine being on like the guy who makes sure that something is all good. Like, okay, check all the parameters on that lander. You know, we want to make sure that mirror is the correct parameters and make sure that's all good. And like, okay, so how would I do that? you got like a measuring tape or something? Like you got some sort of
I just tricorder? Thought everything was fine. Like Woody, look at that space shuttle. Make sure everything's in order. All right.
Solid.
This will take 10 days.
Yeah, this will take 10 days.
Really? It usually takes my guys 3 weeks. Woody has saved us 2 fucking weeks, guys. Let's go. Everybody's like, we're going to Mars, boys.
Right? So what is NASA Flathead Phillips?
Alan, get this. Is it? Back out 1 screw, right? The 10th day in, be like, I think I see something, boys.
And it's like way up there. But you spotted it.
I don't know. You might want me to check all these screws again.
Eagle Eye Woody just saved us $8 billion, guys. All right. Take, you know what? Promotion for you, sir.
This one
no. I couldn't possibly.
Like it's made of Home Depot nickel.
Yeah. This is PVC. Yeah, that we would have never got to the moon if any of us were involved.
No.
I mean, they've made some fuck ups. When they first sent Hubble up, the mirror was wrong. The mirror had been planed wrong by the lens company, and it didn't work. It was all blurry. They're like, we just launched a multi-billion-dollar fucking telescope. They sent the space shuttle up with a new lens, and they had astronauts get out and fix that bitch because it was close enough to Earth that you could do that.
It cost a lot of money. Fingerprints off of it. Like, obviously, the wearing gloves, I get it. But, like, I imagine it needs to be really clean.
It's a clean room. Yeah, it's in one of those, like, it looks like they're working on silicon.
It needs to stay that clean through the whole process. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure they bring, like, a rag up there with them.
And then I think that
I'm sure that's what they do. Yes, a little bounty, maybe.
Who's got the Windex?
Buzz Aldrin.
We left the wind.
Spits on it. You just had to bring your golden grams, didn't you? Put us over the fucking weight limit for that last bit of glass cleaner.
They messed up Metric and Imperial one time, and I think they crashed a probe into Mars. Some very expensive
there was a conversion error or something.
Yeah.
The reason I'm just realizing the reason I thought golden grams is, Kyle, did you just watch the old Simpsons where Homer goes up to space and they're like crashing back down and all the like astronauts are either like saying the Pledge of Allegiance or something, or they're like praying like, Lord, get us out of this. And like, they're like, pray to whoever you believe in. And Homer's like, those golden grams. Oh, those golden grams. Like singing the golden grams song. Crispy, crunchy, something serious.
Yeah. Homer snuck a bag of potato chips into the space shuttle and then cracked them open mid-flight, and they went everywhere. And then he bumped into the ant farm, and now there's ants and potato chips everywhere. So the answer was to open the door and depressurize to blow them out. But then Homer breaks the fucking door off of the capsule, and they've got to like jerry rig it up for re-entry. Yeah, that was a fun episode. The beginning of it was more fun.
No. What did they jerry rig it with? A little trivia.
The inanimate carbon rod, which at the beginning of the episode, Homer at the plant, everyone has been employee of the month before except for Homer. They're wearing these gold medals around their neck, every single person but Homer. And Mr. Burns gives that month's medal to this inanimate carbon rod. It's just like
I wrote this down, and news that will be very disappointing to you, Kyle, and it's a shock to everyone. Unfortunately, in an unforeseen way, no one could have predicted, NASA has had to delay the lunar mission for another few years.
Are they still on schedule for no sooner than 2025?
Well, I think now we're
in a fucking race with China, by the way. Well, China's going to go to the moon before us.
This is spacenews.com. They know. It says NASA safety panel warns Starship lunar lander could be delayed by years. Fiddlesticks. Oh, and it was so close, right?
If the Chinese walk on the moon, it is going to be a bit of a black eye, and it's going to be a bit of a huge realization. I don't know if you've seen like China's recent air show, but they showed off a ton of like futuristic looking stuff that supposedly works. But it's one of those things again where none of it's ever been proven in battle, and you wonder like, is that just you ever see like a someone takes like a Honda Civic and makes it look like a Supra or something, or makes it look like a Lambo because it's got a body kit on it, and this $6,000 car looks like a $150,000 car suddenly. I wonder if that's what some of their gear is like. But if they land on the moon and a guy gets out and he walks around and he comes back to the Earth, that is an incredibly complicated stage of multiple sciences being coordinated in an orchestra of competence. And it would be a bad look if they can make it happen. Just a spacesuit. Designing a spacesuit is this is incredibly difficult thing. There's this weird aggregate on the moon, like the moon dust is like abrasive, like powdered glass or something. It gets everywhere. It's static. I don't know what the word is for when static affects something, but static electricity makes it bond to everything on them. It gets in their zippers and in their creases, and it scratches all the lenses that everything that can like rub against another thing.
Yeah, this well, the moon incredibly is everyone knows.
Yeah. We don't have a spacesuit right now for the moon. We
surely do. We had one in 1969.
That it's not compatible with modern technology. That's no more. We do not have.
It's humiliating to not be able to go back right now. This should be a weekend excursion at this point. It's been fucking 50 years.
Getting there is no problem. It's the landing, taking off, and like walking around.
That's such a part of going.
I'm aware.
that's such a huge part of it. Like that, and the fact that they're like, "Hey, did you know that we basically did this with rubber band and a cassette tape in 1969, and now we can't."
It makes you realize the balls of guys like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin that they went up there with that 1960s horse shit and did all that. To me, the scariest part.
Balls.
Yeah, there's still people who are ballsy. Dude, the moon landing is one conspiracy that I refuse to go down that rabbit hole. I refuse.
Yeah,
if it is fake, I will never.
You can see it with a telescope.
It is an incredible thing, and it's 100% real.
I can name a dozen paramotor friends who would go to the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, I go.
Lack of ballsiness is not the thing.
But see, it's almost that thing you were talking about earlier, where you have to be knowledgeable enough in a subject to know that you're not good at it, and that those things never catch each other. I think that we're so ignorant about the dangers of that space travel. They're like, strap me in, baby. What's the worst that can happen? And they're like, oh, you don't even want to know the worst thing.
Like, I don't know. I just don't think balls are that uncommon. Katy Perry would do it.
No, she would not.
No, she went she didn't even go to real space. She went to bullshit space. I saw the graph.
Dude, she went as far as she could.
As far as they let her. Yeah.
Katy Perry has the balls to go to the moon. She would go.
Dude, I was watching.
Know what she's doing. Like here's the problems that I see as an amateur YouTube astronaut.
Okay.
When they send that lander down and it has to like softly touch down on the lunar surface and not damage itself, so because it's going to have to leave again, it can't be crooked. It can't be sitting in a pothole. That place is nothing but craters. It doesn't have any erosion. So every crater that's ever been there is still there since the thing solidified. It has to sit down right. If it falls over and you break down, there is no backup. You are now going to stay here until you suffocate.
How heavy is it?
Zach, pull up the landing module from the 60s. Look at this hunk of shit. And you're telling me we can't make something better? This thing looks ridiculous. We could make something 20 times better.
If that thing tipped over,
I watched a movie
before astronauts in it could tip it back.
Oh, you watched a movie about it?
Yes, it's
my mistake.
That thing is incredibly complicated.
I watched Interstellar. I watched Interstellar the other night, and like part of the propaganda thing was like him being like, my daughter, you're going to tell her she can't go to college because of this and that. And she's like, well, she's pushing back. And we're trying to tell her that the moon landing was Cold War propaganda. And like, just hearing that in a movie, I'm like, this fucking commie.
That's $2.4 billion right there.
That thing looks like a Halloween decoration. We could make something 100 times better than that.
If that thing was tipped over, I could tip it back.
Yeah.
How much? Let's see how much it weighs, and then obviously
not that much gravity on the moon. I'm counting on that.
What does the limb weigh?
Dude, I wouldn't feel safe here if it were shelter on a paintball course. Like this thing.
Zach says it's almost 11,000 pounds.
It's more than that,
but less on the moon.
Yeah, I'm getting the ratio right now.
I believe in you, Woody. You can flip it.
1/6, and the limb weighs 33,000 pounds. So it would weigh 5,050 pounds. Or something like that.
Not a problem.
Easy work.
Yeah.
It weighs what a car weighs, even on the moon.
Light day for me.
Yeah. I mean, you see the ladder for like scale on the left side, so you can imagine a man.
It's so much bigger than I thought it was. I figured I was like, that flag looks tiny. It must be way in the distance. And then you show me the ladder, and I'm like, fuck.
So they landed that on the moon.
I thought my head came up like 2/3 of it.
What's with the tinfoil? Next time we do this, we can't have tinfoil on there.
That's reflecting radiation and heat away from the people on the inside, I think.
Then why is it only on the bottom part? Either make the whole thing gold or don't have gold on it.
They mix
It's
gold.
a little gold trim. All right.
It's a little trim. It's a little Trumpy.
Anyway,
dude, imagine how garish our lunar lander would be if Trump was in charge.
Dude,
it'd be made of gold, so it'd make this huge crater. It's so fucking heavy.
I think his sense of style is really bad.
It's really bad. Yes.
I could see it being
what
fun.
Someone with no taste thinks good taste is like.
In short dose, I could see myself having fun at a hotel with that level of garishness, where it's like, oh, this is like novel.
A casino.
But a casino. The idea of living in that environment, though, sounds like it's too much. It's too loud. Everywhere is loud. Even like on my fixtures and stuff, like I prefer chrome to gold.
And it's just not a good look to me. Everyone else needs to cut back while he turns the place into gold and installs a ballroom.
Yeah, there's different ways to measure the largest reserves on Earth. Like,
dude,
look at the United States.
That if I look it up, you'll be wrong. I'm just saying I've heard Saudi Arabia is the biggest, America's the biggest, Venezuela
Antarctica
is the biggest. Okay, I wouldn't.
Oh, you don't count that continent? That would just slip right off your flat Earth.
It's not a country.
It's not a country at all. So it's up for grabs for the entire international community.
And anything that's up for grabs means America.
Except for the moon, apparently.
Except for the fucking moon, because they can't get their shit together.
You know, the thing about the moon that actually might be vital in the future. So if they ever figure out fusion energy, the best fuel for fusion energy is supposedly this thing called helium-3. It's an isotope of helium, obviously. And it's all over the moon. It's like what the moon's made of.
Is that true? Because that was in that Space Cowboy TV show we both liked.
It's true because they're basing real life science. They're writing it into the show. It basically.
Okay. I didn't even know helium-3 was real. I was they could have called it just unobtainium like they did in Avatar.
No, it's the real world reason why the moon might be a conflict zone for China and the United States, or any economy who has figured out both fusion energy and space travel well enough to go to the moon and get the stuff. It's also what they're getting in the movie Moon with Sam Rockwell. That's what he's sending back. He's sending back helium-3.
Is that the one where he's like, he doesn't realize he's a replicant of some sort?
That's not that one, Woody.
Is that the one where he was dead the whole time?
Don't spurl it.
Don't watch the movie. It's really long and dull. And
me and Taylor love it.
Well, Moon rules. Moon is one of my favorite movies. I love it.
Oh yeah. If I can summarize a 2-hour movie in 20 seconds, it's too long.
I really wait. What is his name? That's not Ed Norton. Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell. I always confuse those two. Yeah, Moon rocks.
I watched tons of videos where they're explaining how the Newtonian physics and quantum mechanics don't add up, and all the inconsistencies. And then my brain breaks 15 minutes into an hour-long video, and I just stare for 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's that like soft-spoken science man that Woody turned me on to probably 2 months ago, where you're like, he goes on Rogan sometimes, and he's kind of like He's like a Neil deGrasse Tyson, but seems to actually know shit. And so he would be on there being like, and the thing about our understanding of physics is it's an incredible thing when it comes to terrestrial objects and things like this. We can understand the movement and such. He's always like smiling. He just is fucking all about this shit. And then he's like,
hear the smile.
The extent of our knowledge there, you either take it up and you scale it up to stars and quasars, black holes, or you make it small, and it's totally useless. And it's like, well, fuck, man. Like, so now we need 3 types of physics.
You actually nailed that pretty well. Yeah, you did that really well.
Dude.
Because as a kid.
That was really good.
As a kid, they showed us the atoms. You know, in one class, they're showing us what an atom looks like. In the other class, they're showing us what the solar system and the galaxy and the universe looks like. And I'm like, oh, shit. Everything is just fractals. It's just, we're just changing the size. But no. That would have been too simple. That's how I know there's no God. He'd have made it simple. He wouldn't have needed to make it some other thing. It would have all just worked on the same system.
No, if I were God, it would be about this complicated, because I would treat it like Bitcoin, where like I wouldn't want to see all of my creation discover everything super rapidly and then have nowhere to go from there. I'd want every incremental thing to get harder and harder, so you'd have better viewing.
Wait, better viewing?
So you could like see them be like, oh, they just figured fire out. Okay. Oh, but every node of the Bitcoin is
for audience retention. You don't want the show to jump the shark too early.
No. It's got to stay good. I'm not sure
I want you to be God.
I'd be the kind of God. I wouldn't have a Game of Thrones universe.
Every time I watch a video about the nitty gritty of the internals of an atom, it often ends with them being like, but nobody knows for sure. We don't know. You know, do they even exist? There's a video called "Do Protons Really Exist?" And I'm like, what the fuck? How can you? They either do or they don't. Why aren't we sure?
Protons? Now we're not sure about protons? Oh, and then the balls on some of these physicists to be like, we don't know if these things exist, but guess what? There's also maybe something infinitely smaller in there too. Quarks.
Oh, for sure.
Like, all right.
And what are they made out of? Like when you look at what the Planck scale is, someone explained the Planck scale in a video the other day. I think it's the smallest measurement unit of measurement, a Planck. I wish I could remember how they phrased it. It's incomprehensibly small. It's just shockingly small. They don't know anything. I wish we lived in a time where they did know the stuff. And they would the video just knew, and it wasn't full of ambiguities and but no one really knows. It's like, fuck, I want to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that stuff is cool. But
born just in time for World War III, though, so we got that going for us. I just love those weapons of death and destruction. I wish we had a worthy enemy for them, and not some people.
No, you don't.
No, deserving enemy. I wish there was some fucking aliens. Dude, the day the aliens come is the day we stop worrying about Iran and Israel and fucking Ukraine and Russia, and everybody goes, wait, there's green cocksuckers wanting to come down here and raise a ruckus? We'll worry about this Christianity, Judaism thing later. Islam, you're with us too. Come on, everybody. The Buddhists, they're chipping in. Everybody's coming, and it's going to be solidified. It'll be a fucking one. That's how you get world peace, is a common enemy. That's what we need.
That's how we get those Sentinelese guys to fucking contribute.
This is the plot.
They jumped in too. We need inept alien invaders. They've been flying here on a generational ship for 3,000 years, and it's going bad. They didn't bring enough food or whatever. and when they show up, they're all fucking low proteined. They're all weak, and we fuck them up. That's what we need.
Hear me out. They're very sensitive to water.
They hate it. It burns them like acid.
And we have a failed baseball player on our side.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Classes. All that was caused by... We're thrown out with super soakers. Just
Darlak, you did the atmospheric check, correct? Yes.
All right, we're good to go, everybody.
You asked me to, didn't you? Certainly did.
That ocean,
5,000 year trip.
That's liquid methane oceans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know, probably.
But as far as from a technological standpoint, I don't know.
Stephen Hawking, a couple other people are always very leery about the SETI projects, things like that, because the vast distances that exist, like any spacefaring civilization that could reach here would presumably have worked out, wormholes or some other dimensional travel. Like, just, it's not a question of just firing up the spaceship and hauling ass. And like that, we would be like bacteria to them. Like, they would be so advanced. Like, the idea that they always, they're here for our water, they're here for some mineral. Like, they would have worked out, matter on a level that they could just synthesize any molecule that they needed, make more water, make more gold, whatever it is.
Yeah, they won't need material. They would either want our like planet that would like suit their needs, because even with the James Webb, we haven't found anything that's quite like us, like a rocky planet within the habitable zone that's the right size with a magnetic field, with the right atmosphere, with the right ingredients, that's not some hellscape. We haven't found one, and all they do is look. So maybe they want that, or maybe they want us. Maybe they want us for some reason, because we are like, stardust turned into consciousness.
Exactly. Maybe they just wanted as like pets. Like, we'd all just be like hamsters.
Oh, we'd be the best pets. Please get a nice, like, submissive Korean boy. That's a good pet right there.
I was thinking more like an ant
that.
farm, right? You just put us there. Then before long, log cabins pop up, and then we make some cities.
They'd probably make us fight.
Yeah,
maybe
they'd make us all do war, because to them that would just be like a fun, silly little battle.
Yeah, but even if we're ants to them, I think we'll be interesting ants. We have entire teams of scientists in areas of field of study or fields of study where people look at ants. You know what I mean? They're blown away by ants. I don't like when I hear astrophysicists or futurists or whatever say that. They're like, oh, they wouldn't care about us. Really? How do you know? How do you know it's not just us and them in the entire universe that are conscious, smart people? They would be incredibly interested in us, even if we're retarded to them. If we went spacefaring and we found a planet full of ants, it would be amazing to us. We'd be, oh my God, space ants! I want some.
It would be the new pet for the holidays for sure. But yeah, that the whole Fermi paradox of why haven't we heard anything? Why haven't we seen anything? Could be that we're not interested enough, but also, I read something once that like the gravitational levels that hold Earth in a sustainable orbit for carbon-based life forms, whatever, like the variance goes down to like the fourth power of, if it was plus or minus just that little bit, we would be either too cold, too hot. Like, all the different Goldilocks zone type things that happen to make our planet survivable for life as we know it anyway, like, are so rare and so specific that it is quite possible that maybe we are the only ones in the Milky Way.
It can't be too big. It can't be too big because the gravity won't allow for certain kinds of evolution to take place. It can't be too small because then it won't have an iron core, so it won't have a magnetosphere to protect it from solar rays that would radiate any kind of bacteria for your building blocks of life. It can't be too close. It can't be too far. It's just any number of things. Although I'm real fascinated with those ice moons out in the Jovian system and around Saturn. There's life in there. I would bet anything that there are little wormy things living under that ice. I just know there are.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, they found enough extreme bacteria here that live in sulfur vents.
They feed off radiation.
Or under lakes and things, and frozen under the ice in Antarctica. That would be pretty wild. Like, I love that concept, and I just want somebody to land something on there and drill down and find something. That would be amazing.
Well, Trump cut our budget, so not this decade.
Yeah, not this time around. But
not any blue plants, unfortunately. Wish they were. That'd be prettier.
It would be. Why don't our scientists get on that? How come none of that USAID money went to cool plant colors?
I think it's in star systems where it's a different kind of star that gives off more ultraviolet light. The plants would be blue there instead of green. Something about the chlorophyll and the way plants work.
Well, I wouldn't want all of them blue.
They'd all be blue.
Okay.
Dogs would love
it. I need to see it. I need to compare my blue versus green. I need to be there for a week because I like new stuff at first.
You need to be on fucking some horrible moon.
Welcome to Zidatu.
1 trillion miles from here. Or I guess 1 trillion miles isn't even very far. Light probably does that in a lickety split.
Right? I don't know. Trillion's so much anything.
That's true. I don't know how.
Depends a lot. 186,000 miles per second, and then into 1 trillion. That just still take a while.
Yeah. 1 trillion is one of those numbers that if I were to do that math on my PC right now, I'd have to like double check the amount of zeros I put in. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, comma 1, 2, 3, comma 1, 2, 3, comma. One too few. Add another.
I really do. You think if we don't blow ourselves up, I hope there is a future where there's that tourist level of space travel, like maybe not to another star system, but like to go see Jupiter. I hope that like you could get on a cruise to Jupiter and you'd fly past it and you'd look at it and then it'd be back. It'd be like a 6-month cruise or something. I hope that's in the future. I really do.
That would be cool. And you know what's going to be even weirder is like 30 years after that, when it's no longer like a Titanic sort of group of people on the cruise wearing suits and smoking cigars and like playing classy poker. It's like fights breaking out.
Like trash. When afford to go to Jupiter.
When a bunch of like West Virginians can afford to get on there.
I got the Groupon.
Yeah, I got a Groupon.
Fix your O2. Fix your O2.
Okay, Kyle. It doesn't take 6 months to get to Jupiter. It currently takes 6 years. Would you be interested in that cruise?
No. I'm talking about a future where like we can do it in 6 months. Yeah.
I understood what you were saying, but I was just like, all right, so if with infinite money, you could do it in 6 years, maybe.
Oh, with infinite money, you could do it way faster than that. Like we could go fast if we wanted to, and cut that trip down. That nobody wants to though.
Once you've been on a cruise for like a week,
too expensive.
It's like I'm about ready. like
and keep in mind that's an open air. Go out into the sunny, fresh sea air. Get pussy, gamble, eat delicious food.
Yeah.
Fucking what's that shuffleboard shit when you push the you got swimming pools, multiple decks, beautiful women. Did I say pussy? You stop at islands along the way and you still get bored of that after 2 weeks. Now imagine it's the cold deadness of space in an aluminum, can with nothing to smell but Taylor's farts. Do you know how they wash clothes in space?
I know.
They don't?
They wear them until they are rotten, and then they throw them out of the ship to be burnt up in the atmosphere.
So I need 6 years of clothes?
Well, they're going to have to come up with something different for a 6-year trip, Taylor. We're going to be naked.
It's like, how was your trip? And it's like awful. I got hammered and made a fool of myself on day 4 in front of all the blackjack dealers. And so, so I couldn't go back to that section of the boat for the next half decade. That sucks. Yeah, I would not want to be on a cruise for 6 years.
No,
going to Jupiter. There's no way it would pay off after 6 years. It would be remarkable. But 6
by the way,
years,
I've already doubled it because unless you're not coming,
you got to come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
and who's to say it doesn't take longer to come back? You know, you're planning.
You're right, Kyle. Yeah, like they timed it so that they'd get there as quickly as possible. They found it at the short points. That's not going to line up for the way back.
In 6 years from now, how far is Jupiter from Earth? You know, it'd be very important.
You know how people get left behind? It's like they get off at a stop, in Portugal, and then they miss the get back on checkpoint, and now they have to have flight. Imagine you oversleep on Europa. Oh no! I'm here for a long time.
The Martian.
Yeah, that would suck. I would want to take a cruise into space. I would want to wait until like decades into them doing it until they've got all the king.
You've got to be like the best of the best with that Glock. They're another level.
Also, Kyle, can I ask you, if there's a hole, if they miss and there's a hole in the plane, does that pick everything up?
Nah, we'll be all right. No, there's not enough pressure. It's even in space. Even in space, if that happened, we'd be all right. So that's a science fiction thing. What you got to think.
That's a movie thing?
Yeah, because what you got to keep in mind is
I'll go
the
second.
Atmospheric pressure is only like 13 or 14 psi where we are in a cabin. Here on Earth, we're under 13 or 16. It's somewhere in there. It's in the low teens of psi. Same thing if we're in a space capsule or an airplane. So punching a hole in it just means there's now it's like if you had a tire with 16 psi in it and you put a hole in it, it'd go and you could put your finger right over that shit. Nothing will happen. Even in space. In space, you could put your finger over that shit.
There was a hole in the International Space Station. It took them a few days to find it. And they didn't really pin it down on anyone, but it seemed like someone operated a drill and accidentally poked the side of the space station.
No shit.
Yeah. This is like 4 years ago, something like that.
You think it'd be a micro meteorite or something, you know, some little piece of shit the size of a grain of salt moving at 20,000 kph or something.
That's a good theory too. I only know what I read.
Yeah, but yeah, I that's one of the things that annoys me in movies. There's a scene in Alien 4 where she flicks some acid on the window and she sucks the big alien out. Like its back sticks to the hole in the wall and it sort of disembowels it from the inside. Vacuums it out.
I have an update. So Russia is suing NASA for that hole. It was 1/16 of an inch, 2 millimeters, and they think it was a NASA guy who accidentally made that hole.
Dude, okay.
Well, it was someone up there.
What forensic experts they are to pin down what hit their space station in space and figure out it was an American.
If you make that hole, that's one of those ones where you look around, you're like, you probably just sneak. You're not telling anybody, hey, I made a hole in the show.
Right. Put a piece of tape on it and hope someone else discovers it. And they don't know.
Like, all right, I'm only up here for another 11 months. Maybe, maybe I can make it home in time.
It could have been anyone.
Yeah, it could have been anyone. I guess I imagined a lot more cameras running at all times in the space station.
That they would know put a hole in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They fixed it with a piece of tape for a while.
Did one of the Americans cop to it, or were they just like,
cop to what?
No, to making the hole. Like, is that why?
Wait, I misunderstood. I thought that they were on a different space station, and they were saying one of our astronauts dropped a nickel and it hit their shit, and you're saying that we were all in the International Space Station together, and somebody drilled a fucking hole hanging their poster, and it was the American.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
All right, I believe that.
Like, yeah, that seems more realistic.
Yeah. Josh, I know you. Josh, I know it was short, and I know you got a show. Thanks for popping by. We'll have to do a longer one soon.
I would love to come back on. I'm in Philly next week, in Austin the week after.
Okay.
And so,
all right, we'll get your. I'm in St. Louis. Kyle's in Atlanta, and Woody is in North Carolina.
Raleigh.
Oh, there you go. Well, Philly and Austin, that's not close to any of you guys.
Nope. No, it is not. I will not see you there. But if you're in those cities, check out Josh's links below and go see him. Go tell him we say hi.
Guys, let's do it again soon. I appreciate you very much.
Yeah, of course. Have a good show, man. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle, I was wondering why you were.
You just close the browser tab.
I was wondering why you're taking such umbrage with the idea that someone on the International Space Station would make a mistake and cause that.
Yeah, I thought they were suggesting that like some space junk that America caused had randomly hit their shit, but because that would be ridiculous to say.
Or maybe fucking Igor up there caused it. And they're like, we got to get out in front of this. Unless, Woody, you read an article. Did someone confess to it? Did they fess up?
I didn't see that. But they thought it was a NASA guy. I don't know. I picture somebody new to this space station hanging posters like every college freshman
with a power drill.
It's just a picture of like an almost nude woman.
Or if it's a girl, a cat that says "hang in there."
Yeah, hang in there. That is such a classic poster. Man, if that's up, I hope. What am I even saying? It's a bunch of nerds up there. It's probably like Harry Potter shit.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're nerds.
Lord of the Rings, maybe.
Cool people don't.
It depends who you're talking about.
So the guys who are cool people don't become astronauts.
Well, a lot of them that are doing the flying and like the actual astronaut shit are Air Force. They're like fighter pilots and shit, right? Test pilots and stuff
but
like
the
that.
Air Force also is bullied by the other military.
Somebody's got to fly that rocket ship, you know?
I don't know. I'm making this up, but I thought that like in the old days, you know, like when they were landing on the moon, it was absolute jocks who were up there just in case we had to get into a fist fight with a space lizard. But nowadays it's like engineers and botanists and stuff. But I'm not sure I'm right.
They definitely send engineers and botanists up there, but I think of the guys who are like the NASA astronauts who are the ones who take you up there as like Air Force badasses.
I wonder if there's an easier way to get on there. Like if it's known. Here, a quick parallel. I was a swimmer. I swam butterfly stroke, and I was pretty good at it. But it helped that nobody wants to swim butterfly. It is by far the hardest stroke. And therefore, every practice, you're absolutely getting your ass kicked. It's difficult. If you go less than like 85%, you can't even breathe. Every other stroke can be done slowly, but not butterfly. So it's like there are fucking no female butterflyers. If you're a female butterfly, you might be world class because you're willing to fucking do it. Is it like nobody wants to be a botanist in space? Is there an easier route, a less competitive avenue into space?
I think everyone would be saving up to $20 million.
There's definitely a tier to it. Like, yeah, like the engineer who's in charge of fixing shit on the space station that keeps it flying around with all that magic. Like, that's the fucking guy. That's the engineer. Whereas like a botanist, there could be 100 brilliant botanists who are just like, yeah, you know what I like about botany is being on a terrestrial world where plants are. That's a big part of it for me. And so they have to take like number 102, send him up to the space station. And then like, that also takes a little bit of bravery too, because if shit goes awry, as the space station botanist, you know, like you are not a priority. Like you're like, hey, what'd you figure out about plants? Oh, they still don't grow up here, bud? Okay.
I do.
Like only if you bring here up there with you.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Johnny Kim and his
but they grow into zero gravity.
Back.
That's the important part.
I guess it's this. Well, I think growing in the native soil is important too.
The native soil of like
the moon, Mars, wherever you are.
Oh, they could grow in Martian soil. They just need to add the chemicals to it.
Well, then we're back to it only grows if we bring us here. Like if you bring the Earth with it.
Well, the idea isn't to terraform a planet and grow. I think they're doing that for a lot of reasons. You know, the idea of having a sustainable space station or like a long-term colony ship. They just wanted to know if shit would work up there. You know, you ever see where they have the spiders up there, how they do their webs differently?
No, but that's interesting. Zach, can you show me a picture of a space spider web?
They have a spider guy up there?
Right, that's the easiest way to get up there. One arachnid expert.
That's absolutely the easiest way. Yeah, that's just some congressman's nephew who's just like, I want to learn how spiders do webs in space, and he's like, man, I can't even imagine an application for this. Send it up. You mean we're gonna bring spiders to the new world? What are we doing?
Okay, so the right one's Earth and the left one's confusing.
Good thing they didn't take it with a good camera.
Right.
Yeah. Man, what year was this taken? The 50s?
Right? You can put a man on the moon, but you can't take a picture of a spider.
Struggling with these photos, but in any case, the webs were different. I think he's having a hard time. I think the one on the left's all a jumble, and the one on the right looks like
probably nauseous.
Basically a normal. Yeah,
spider on the left is a lot bigger.
Yeah, it seems like they're having a hard time doing webbing on the left there. It just looks like a mess.
Well, imagine how much money that cost.
I mean, not much. You said to get the spider up there.
Yeah, spiders are free, dude. You don't have to pay for them.
I guess that's true. I guess that's the one cost effect. That's how he like sold it. He's like, you know, a spider weighs a tenth of a gram, and I got him on me right now. Like, I got a pile of spiders in my pocket.
I got one in my armpit.
Then all the other astronauts are like, do not send the vial of spiders guy up here with us. We're trying to learn about asteroids and mining. And this guy's goofing around with bugs. If we do terraform Mars, I don't see a reason to bring spiders. Because we're not going to bring the bugs that we need spiders here to eat. Like, you're not going to bring locusts.
They do seem like a low priority, right?
Super.
I think we'll leave the spiders at home.
Yeah, leave the spiders.
We'll bring the bugs. We'll bring the bees.
We'll bring some bees.
What does it take to terraform? It seems like if you could just get something to grow and die, then another thing could grow in that, and you'd eventually have like oxygen and carbon dioxide. Someone figure out terraform. It seemed easy when I read it.
A huge amount of like formerly living matter, right?
Well, you start small.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Mars in particular? Because you know the plants need to take.
Let's start with the moon. Let's not get bananas here.
I read a sci-fi book where they explained the strategy for the nature of this sci-fi book was that someone put a sphere around Earth so that our time stood still kind of while everything else raced forward. So we wanted to leave Earth and go somewhere where time is normal, and they were going to terraform Mars, and they made it seem like a feasible thing. Like, yeah, just get some algae on there that requires very little except sunlight. And then it grows and dies and grows and dies, and then more complex things can start going. And I understood it when I read it, but I can't explain it. So
it must be more complicated than that then, because otherwise Musk or one of those guys who are obsessed with this would have sent some algae up there, or they probably have, and it just dies.
We don't have any magic algae. That's the thing. They made up a thing that works. They're like, all you need is that thing that needs nothing and makes oxygen.
Yeah, well, sci-fi books are pretty terrible when you use realism, and it's like, it's an uninhabitable wasteland. I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Zach. Like part of it is the thing's core stops spinning, or it doesn't have a core or whatever, an iron one, so it doesn't have a magnetosphere. So it's a radiation land, and that you might be able to go on the surface and do your thing, be there for 6 months, and you might not get cancer. But you've got to get plant life to like live and exist there, and like ecosystems to exist there in the radioactive wasteland of Mars that's getting scorched by all those solar rays that aren't deflected because, again, they don't have any sort of magnetosphere bouncing it off. You ever see the magnetic field of the Earth and how you can see how it's just a big protective field bubble that we're wrapped in that keeps us from dying from any number of space things.
Well, do any of the other planets that are nice looking have that? Venus,
that are
maybe?
Nice looking? Yeah. Venus, lead melts on the surface of Venus. The Soviets rather, sent landers there in the 70s and have pictures from the surface and stuff. They landed on the surface, took photos, and sent them back, readings of all sorts. That's not the place you want to go either.
Okay, well, Mercury is probably very hot.
It's also very tiny. It's just a big ball of metal up there.
Well, then why are we set on Mars?
Because it's the closest thing to what we have.
But you said it doesn't have that.
Nope, sure
core.
Doesn't.
So then it's a little bit dead in the water.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Oh well, that's not fun.
If you're going to live on Mars, the way it would have to work is you would be underground. You would be living underground in a cave system. That's how
what they
life
do in
on Mars
Invincible.
works.
Just being bombarded by radiation from the sun.
No radiation down there. You're underground in a cave system, then you're fine. You could have life there. There's water there. If you went up to that big place where there's a huge frozen ice sheet and went underground and used the water from that ice and the gases from that ice to make your underground ecosystem, growing algae, sure, whatever, or maybe you bioengineered some sort of plant that makes a lot of oxygen and just grows rapidly in underground conditions powered by your electrical lights, like make the thing that you need to keep you going. But you're never going to be on the surface of Mars with blue skies and fucking.
You're telling me enough people standing on the surface with hairspray can't create a little bit of a
do it either. That's we've got another hole in the ozone actually because of CFCs or whatever they are. We've got that's back again.
Is it?
Yeah. It's over the Arctic, I believe.
How do they know? Where's the hole?
I mean, they can see it. Scientists can. I think it's in the Arctic, as far as I know.
No, nothing's going on up there. It's fine.
All those poor animals, all those poor polar bears that have a hard enough time already.
I think the polar bears are doing solid, right?
No, their habitat's being taken from them. They're sort of devolving into growler bears. They're having to interbreed with the grizzly bears.
No idea I have no idea what direction polar bear populations are going in.
You can imagine though, they're polar bears, and we have a bit of a global warming situation where their habitat has been melting for the last 100 years. So
I thought you told me there was like a bunch of ice up there. There was more than like the 70s or some shit.
I did not tell you that. There's less. There's less than there was in the 1997s and the last
1997s.
Yeah, there's less ice than there was last year. You know what I mean? So like that's the only time I care. Like when I hear about global warming, I think about those poor polar bears up there looking real sad. Because every now and then I'll see a polar bear at the zoo and they just dumped out a big bucket of ice and he just lays in it like, oh, a whiff of home. He just lays on this pile of ice in this hot San Diego fucking field he's in while we gawk at him as he shits in a cage. This apex predator, the biggest land predator in the world, I think. Because I know Taylor doesn't care about it, but for Woody's information and everyone else who loves science and the future and space, they're going. So
I love space. I just love fucking with you about
it. He doesn't love space people. He wants to cut NASA's funding. He doesn't want us ever to go to the stars. That's Taylor. He says right here on Earth, never leave.
No, we need to go to the stars. How about they actually get something done?
They've done so many impressive things. There's video from like Comet.
You were bragging about them doing a fly around the moon in 2026.
Taylor, they promised to do that no sooner than 2026, so that could be any day.
They said no sooner than 2026.
It's February 6th.
They said no sooner than 2025.
Let me just say this. I know. Look, I know they've missed lots of dates. Part of it's because of funding, and part of it's because going to space is fucking hard. But
is it?
You made
been
fun.
There.
Who else has though? Like, no one else has done what we're about to do but us, and we haven't done it since like 1972. What they're about to do with this gigantic Artemis 2 rocket
half century ago.
It's on the landing pad or the launch pad now, apparently, I think. February 6th, no earlier than February 6th, which is like weather could happen and they could delay the thing.
Is there a poly market? Is there a poly market
loaded up and ready to go, and they're sending.
Woody and I are going to get rich on this poly market bet.
They're sending 4 people. They're sending a black guy, a woman, and 2 white dudes. And they're going to go around the moon, and they're doing like a figure 8 around the moon. They're doing like multiple like different kinds of orbits around the moon. And they're going to be looking at the South Pole, I think, because the South Pole is where the Artemis missions are eventually going to build their base. But the first step, just like in the early Apollo programs and stuff, is to go around the moon and come back.
No, it's not like the early Apollo programs, because the early Apollo programs got us on the fucking moon.
But at first, they went around the moon.
The difference is we're doing from around the moon to on the moon in like 10 years. This time it will be 100.
This time it will be 100 years.
They're trying to no less than 100. My mistake.
No less than an eon. They are trying to make us impressed for something that they did over half a century ago.
I don't think they're trying to impress you.
If the iPhone re-released the 3, we'd be incensed. And that was like 15 years ago. Like that's fucking insane. It's all granular. It's all shitty now.
By the way, no other country has ever done what we're about to do. Like no other country has ever sent a person around the moon. No country has ever sent a man. No other country has ever sent a man nearly as far as they're going. They're going 200.
This is what America does best. We establish new finish lines that we pass first.
Orbiting the moon is a good finish line. It's 250,000 miles away, 244,000 miles away.
As the finish line if you've already landed on the moon.
The finish line is a moon base.
Farthest from Earth is a record I'll accept, though. I think that's kind of neat.
We should be on Mars by now. We should have already sent someone who died
horribly to Congressman Taylor. Like, what do you mean we should be on Mars? If their budget's like $50 billion a year. By the way, that Mars thing is a crock of shit.
They got to the moon with a bunch of paper clips and rubber bands and slide rules. They kind of just went, look solid, launch it. Like and we did it, and it worked out.
But they only needed food for a
steering with a yoke.
Have you seen the lunar module? Terrible. And they made that work.
Don't make fun of the limb. First of all, the limb is one of the most impressive pieces of human technology.
I just mean the pictures, like where it just looks cheap and shitty. It doesn't look like 2026 technology. We could have one that's all like chrome, looks like a fucking MacBook.
The new one doesn't look that different.
To buy the lunar module, put some velvet rope around it, and let us get up close.
I would like that.
They made a bunch of them. There's definitely one.
Craig, where are you coming down on
something
this?
Like that?
Are you crazy like Kyle, or do you think it's insane for NASA to try and bloviate about doing something they did?
They're not bloviating.
60 years ago.
They're sending a woman around the moon.
I need you to accept my completely unfair framing uncritically.
Aren't they looking for ice, like at the poles?
Yeah, there is ice at the poles. The plan is to build the moon base near the South Pole ice areas.
So that makes sense.
I'll pop a guy down. Let's see what's up.
I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know how that's going to work. I'd be surprised if we have a moon base by 2035. That would be very impressive to me if they did it in 9 years. I doubt they will. But going to Mars is crazy anyway. I don't know how.
It's a pretty terrible planet.
Well, I mean, for the people that go there, I kind of like the idea of us doing it just to put boots on it. But the idea of living there and staying there for an extended period of time, I don't know how they get back. Like the only way that Mars things works is if they send fuel there and then land the fuel tanking stuff there, or have it in orbit waiting or something like that. Because you got to refuel to come back.
It would have to be a one-way thing. Like we need some real ones.
We're not sending a one-way thing. Or you can't leave. If you go there, you can. If you stay there for too long, you can never leave. Like there's going to be a period of time.
So like that Eagles song, it's like Hotel California.
It is like the Hotel California. Yeah, because your body's going to lose a ton of bone mass You're going to be exposed to a ton of radiation on the way out there anyway, because you're going to be our astronauts, even when they go into the moon, they're somewhat protected by the Van Allen radiation belts and all that shit from the Earth, from the cosmic rays. But in space between Earth and Mars, you're just at the whims of reality, getting bombarded by charged particles the whole time.
I thought the Van Allen radiation belt itself also was really demanding on like capsules and things on the way through it, on the way out, right?
I don't know why it would be.
Because it would be bombarding you with a bunch of shit, right?
No, it's the magnetic field of the Earth that's shielding us from that stuff, from the cosmic rays and the solar wind from the sun.
So once we get past that is when it gets bananas.
And it gets much more dangerous. Yeah. Well, if there was a solar storm, from my understanding is if there was like an actual like solar storm that occurred during the 6 months at least it takes to get to Mars, it would just kill them all.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
It would just irradiate them, because the skin of like whatever ship they build is going to be millimeters thick of aluminum. Like that's or titanium. Like whoever goes to Mars is probably not coming back, and they're definitely not coming back the same. I wouldn't want to go there. That's terrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean,
would they be older or younger than they would otherwise be?
Younger.
Younger?
Yeah. The faster you go, the slower time moves for you.
Yeah. It's like that movie where Matthew McConaughey.
I'm like, oh yeah, I did know that.
This little maneuver is going to cost us 71 years. that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
then that movie ends where he's just like in a weird cosmic library moving books, and he's like, "Wait, I get it now."
Yeah. He's sort of transcended time and he's gained access to it.
That was a frustrating way for a 3-hour movie to end.
I like it. I like that movie a bunch.
And then his daughter, he sees his daughter and she's all old as shit and she's on her deathbed, and he goes in for like 2 seconds and he's like, "Oh, I missed you so much," and she's like, "That's enough. Get out of here." And then he's like, "Okay," and that was it, because she had to talk to her actual family, not the guy who
abandoned her like 80 years before. Yeah, it's a sad one. No, I'm impressed by the fucking Artemis thing. I'm nervous. I'm worried about what would happen if it were to fail and they were to blow up. Or like the scariest thing is if like, I don't know, a tank ruptured or something, or a thruster fired when it wasn't supposed to fire while they're on the other side of the moon, and then they just sort of skip off into space. And it's not like fucking Star Trek. There's no like, turn us around, number one. It's
I saw that's it. Gravity. They'll be fine.
You know what? This is, in the true sense, NASA has got to tell these folks, real deal, if they fake the moon landing. They've got to tell them beforehand. They've got to be like, guys, heads up. You're actually forging new ground. You're not going to get but you
definitely did not do that. Fake the moon landing.
I don't think we faked it either. I think we dominated Russia and China.
I mean,
in the whole world. Flexed on them.
I mean, China and Russia would have called us out on it, or the Japanese or somebody, because they've gone.
Oh, the Japanese wouldn't call us out. They're our buddies.
Yeah, I don't trust the Japanese.
They don't trust the. Oh, come on!
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. No, I don't think so. Like when your lack of like enthusiasm for us going around the moon and coming back, that's so insane to me that somebody's going to go do that. That's so terrifying.
Yeah,
I saw the spaceship they're going
for the
in.
First
it's not that big.
History, right? Or has it been done in the past?
Oh my
God! But like, please tell me it hasn't been done in like the way past.
It hasn't. We've never gone past the moon.
Well, we're doing the same thing we did. Well, we have. We've gone around the moon a bunch of times.
Wait, what? Wait, you're saying we did when like Fonzie was like a relevant public character?
Back when I thought Fonzie was actually tough.
The thing is, no one has ever done it that wasn't an American, first of all. No other countries managed to do this before.
Yes, America.
And yes, we did it in 1972, I think, was the last time we made a loop around the moon. Not the
first time. When was the first time we did it?
Probably 1967.
Are we going farther? We need to break a record or something. It seems like we're going to be right there.
So my father was 3 the first time they did it.
What is your point? But
is that it's not
I feel like you're building my case. It hasn't been done in 50 fucking years. No one has been able to do it. And we're going back. And the point of our going back is this is a stepping stone to landing on the moon in a year or two, and then building a moon base in 5 or 10 years after that. This is the thing happening that you're always asking for. And you're like, biggest rocket ever? What a bunch of bullshit. Oh, a new cool 21st century fucking lander? Who cares? They're sending a black man and a woman around the moon. I don't care. What do
it's
you
fine,
want?
dude. A lot of gay guys are
stoked
on it. It's like
to appreciate the incredible technological like accomplishment that this is.
I would need for it to not have happened in 1966 too.
Oh my fucking God.
I think in 72, when they were going around the dark side, they picked up a strange radio signal that they still can't identify. So we might get some.
I would be interested in that
after it. Yeah.
Some ancient radio signals from foreign civilizations.
Yeah.
Or just like something we caught from like Russia. Maybe. You don't think that's real, Kyle?
Well, I mean, like radio doesn't really work out. No.
I think NASA's doing
I might use the wrong word. I'd like to see an unknown sound.
If NASA could invent some other stuff, I think that'd be dope. Like a phone that fits in the palm of your hand, or a digital watch, or some other like groundbreaking shit that we've never seen before.
If they made something sick like that, like imagine if they made a phone that let like an astronaut talk to Nixon in the 60s from the moon. Imagine if they invented that.
I don't know why you act like that's nonsense or that it's not an incredible
does it bother you?
Technology.
Moving pictures with audio? Huh? Talkies? Like
the talkies.
I sat on the talkies.
Kyle's gonna be like, they're releasing a new movie and you guys just don't get it. It's remarkable. And it's like they're re-releasing a movie from 1986. And he's like, yeah, this time it's really good. No, I think NASA's got you over a barrel. I think you're compromised.
Well, I'm excited. I love that we're doing
Big Star.
I love that we're doing a thing. We're getting out of that low Earth orbit and going to the fucking moon. I'm incredibly impressed by it. I love that they're sending a diverse crew. I really do. I don't like all that diversity in my Star Trek, but in my Apollo programs, I not all white dudes. I kind of like that look. I like that they're sending a lady and a black dude this time.
You mentioned it a couple of times. I'm honestly colorblind in this stuff, and I guess gender blind too. Like I don't.
Yeah, but women and black people aren't.
Okay, that's fair. I can see why if I wasn't a white man, how I'd be excited to be represented for the first time. I could see why that'd be dope. But as a white man, I'm like, it doesn't matter what they are.
They gonna steal the moon rocks.
It'd be a bigger deal to me if they set a distance record than if they picked a non-white man.
Okay.
Like I actually think the astronauts, they could probably replace them with monkeys and still do the same thing.
But they got to do a good job. The diversity team has to do a good job, because if not, people are going to be like, you left this like wildly autistic German guy on the ground. Like, and all he do is space.
Well, and